We landed. I think we made it, people. We're actually here. So this is Lumination, and it is an actual good old-fashioned Sunday Night Live. We haven't done this for, what, 4 months now? Hey, Frittily. It's okay, you know. You're doing what you gotta do. You're extremely resilient, okay, Frittily? Hello, Taylor. I don't know who else is out there. It's very obvious that the notifications are not working very well. So let's just hang out a little bit to see who else shows up. It's really hard to do this without the YouTube support of notifications, but we'll see what happens anyway, okay? Fertility got 2 gallons of free tea. Wow, very cool. So greetings. I saw a few people there earlier who were checking in, probably complete strangers. I have no idea. And in a little bit, in a little while, we're going to actually kind of, I don't know, I guess kind of get on with the show. Yeah. Yeah. I don't have a Walmart. There's no Walmart near me anywhere. Not for far away. There's plenty of other stuff. Most of the grocery stores over here in my neighborhood, the shelves are absolutely packed with everything you can imagine. Even if people are doing any kind of panic buying here, it doesn't show. It doesn't show in the local grocery stores. So, you know, it's pretty cool. Let's see. So this is the first time I've done any kind of Sunday Night Live actually on a Sunday night in probably 4 months. So thank you, whoever you are. Thank you, Taylor. Thank you, Frittily, for being here. If there's a couple more out there, thank you very much. By the way, if you are a complete and utter newbie, and you've never been here before, you've never done this before, and you've always been curious about like spooky things, about like tarot readings and astrology and stuff, all of those kind of things, this would be the time to introduce yourselves. Okay? We're good people here. So, and there's a reason I ask for the newbies. Like, I don't want to kind of give away or like break the mystery up, but I ask for the newbies to introduce themselves. If you've never been here before, if you've never typed in, if you've never chatted here before, if you've never done a tarot reading, if you've never done a SuperChat tarot reading, then if you've just never done this before, all I'm suggesting, I'm inviting you to introduce yourselves. Type it in on the screen right down there on the little corner where you type it in. Basically, introduce yourself. Let us know who you are. Tell us where you come from, what are you doing, and all that kind of thing. And I don't want to tell you why, but it's basically you get a little prize. You get a little prize, okay? You get to win something. So don't be shy if there's someone out there, okay? Ay. What does it take these days? What does it take? All right. Let me go back to the stage for a second. I need to chillax here. I'm going to put on a little bit of music. I got to get set up with some tarot cards and, you know, some lighting and things like that. So give me a couple seconds. I'll be back really, really soon. Okay, so don't you worry, and we'll go from there. I see you, Path. I see you. Hold on, I'm just getting the stage set up. Don't you worry, we're almost there. Hold on. Alright, so here we are. Welcome to Tarot Lumination Sunday Night Live. Like I was talking about a few minutes earlier, we haven't done this in about 4 months because some of you know that Tarot Lumination had a kind of a big like meltdown. I got very, very sick. I got very depressed. The channel is collapsed and all those kind of like hideous stories. But, you know, it's still here. It's still actually here. Aha, wait a minute. I just saw something from Path. Look at that. Look at that magic yellow button. Okay. All right. Here we go. All right. So, for anyone who's absolutely brand new here, what happens is, like for the here, I'm just going to tell you, okay? For the very, very first person here who is watching right now at this moment in time, I can only see like 2 or 3 people that are recognized regular viewers, but it's showing that there's 5 or 6 or 7 people watching. So a couple of you might be utterly brand new, And if you have never had your own personal, private, live tarot reading before, then this is your moment, because Tarot Lumination is giving away to one particular person tonight, right now, a free live mini tarot reading. Okay? Okay? So, if there's anyone out there, you're watching this right now live, and you've never been here before, and you're a little bit, inquisitive, let us know who you are. Type your name in the screen, and most of us will be able to figure out whether you've been here before or not. And if you're a complete newbie, then you will get your own personal live mini reading. Okay? And that's how we start the show. So I'm going to put this over here. Meanwhile, good old-fashioned super chat works extremely well. So I'm going to put that over here because Path Traveler, who has been here before, let's just be honest, Path Traveler, you've been here before. She just put some money in the pot because she wants to know what's going on. So Path Traveler is going to get their own post-it note. Okay? Path Traveler. Okay, so that's you. So you're going to get a reading, okay? You're going to get one. Thank you very much, Path. That goes over here. I see that Taylor and Frittily are really digging into the chat and the conversations here. I haven't been able to watch, so I have no idea what you guys are chatting about. But anyway, that's okay. The show keeps going. Greetings, good evening, everyone. So, right now, it seems pretty clear that the notifications system for Tarot Lumination on the channel have pretty much disappeared into the ether, into the void. So I have no idea if anyone's going to show up here tonight or not. It might, the YouTube algorithm is a very, very mysterious thing. It changes every day, every week, every month, and it turns into something else. And, for some people it's great. For some people it's not quite so great. And right now, it's it would really, really be nice if the notifications were working. I don't know if anyone else got theirs, but anyway, about 3 or 4 months ago, 6 months ago, we used to have regular Sunday Night Lives, okay? Just regular as clockwork, and we did it for a couple of years. And then everything started to go, and now we're kind of operating from a position of life support, but we're still here. It's still operational. So, anyway, I saw a few more people just showed up. It's showing there on my computers. I can see it, like over here. This is the Tarot Lumination stage, and there's a studio over here, and there's lighting, and there's cameras over here and over there. And it just showed over here that a few more people just arrived. So let me go back to this. Okay. So, dear newbies, if you're, they just left. Okay, so a bunch of people just arrived and then they departed. Okay, so I don't know what to say. I'll just come back to this in a little bit. Let's just keep hanging out until I get a chance to actually connect with the audience a little bit. Hold on. I saw something from Frittily. It was dark and we had one headlight. Oh gosh. Heroin epidemic in Frittilly's town. Ew. Oh, that's really scary. I'm sorry. Hold on, let me just check in over here. Give me a second. Hold on. Okay, greetings. Good evening. It looks like a bunch of people did show up and then they disappeared, so I probably scared them away. I'm very sorry about that. I don't know what to tell you. It's it's I really don't know what to say. I don't know what to do. When the YouTube algorithm stops working, you end up with what they call a ghost channel, okay? And that's kind of what we're dealing with right here, right now. So yeah, chat amongst yourselves. I'm going to just basically hang out here for a while to just keep the stream going a little bit, so that if the notification system decides to pick up a little bit, then maybe some of the subscribers will get their notifications. So here's some numbers for you, just out of curiosity. We've got about 13,000 subscribers on this channel, and YouTube is scrubbing about 100 subscribers per month. YouTube decided that we're just going to take it away, and the notifications system has turned from here to here. So I'm trying to work within these parameters. Like, well, what do we do now? What do we do now? So some channels are having a really, really fantastic time, okay? Yeah, thank you, Path Traveler. I really needed to see that. I really needed to understand that. The people that need to be here will find you. Thank you very much. Let's just keep the thing rolling. So let me go back to the stage for a second, okay? I've got something for you. One of the people who hangs out here quite regularly on the channel, they just wrote to me and they said that they bought a copy of the Terror Illumination album off of iTunes just a few days ago, okay? And I keep forgetting to tell people, like, there's Terror Illumination music, there's Terror Illumination song playlists, there's Terror Illumination album on iTunes and all these other, big internet shops and everything. And guess what? There is a book of lyrics that goes with it. So, for example, you've probably heard one of these songs over here. I'll put it over to here. There's a song that we do called I Surrender. Okay? So these are the lyrics. I know, it's amazing. Fritley's going to go in and get an Epsom salt bath. So it's a very good, this is very, very old-fashioned. This is like what they used to do in the really old days when they had vinyl albums, and there were good old-fashioned rock stars who, they did everything like the old-fashioned mom and pop way in the local recording studio with the local record company, and you just kind of pray for it. So if anybody's interested and you've got the album, then you can get this book of lyrics, and you can get it online at Amazon. So I'm just letting you guys know. You go to Amazon and you just click for Terror Illumination, and you can find things like this book of lyrics. It's right there, and it comes to you in a little envelope from Amazon. So I thought I would share that with you. Here's something else that you might find incredibly interesting. I know. You see this little book? This is another little book that Terror Illumination wrote, okay? It's an actual real live book. It's got words in it. It's printed on paper. Everything is edited, and all the things that you're supposed to do are done. So this is the little book, and it's called Wealth, Money, Finance. It's by yours truly, Terror Illumination. And it's regarding the global restructuring in January 2020. Okay, so anyway, here's the point. See this little book? I wrote it years ago. I wrote the manuscript, the raw manuscript years ago, and I sent it out to a bunch of financiers and astrological financiers, people who do financial astrology. I know, and it sounds crazy, but it's true. It does actually happen. And when they read the book and they replied to me, they said, basically, oh my God. Yeah, basically this book should be read by everybody on the planet. That's how it is. And it would be very, very handy if everybody knew this stuff and understands this stuff, okay? Anyway, it's here. You can actually get this. You see that? It even has a... You can't see it very well here on the camera, but it says it. It's right here on the spine. Look, Wealth, Money, Finance by Tarot Lumination. And it has all this stuff on the back. But anyway, it's a real life book. And it was very, let's say, prophetic. Not pathetic. Not pathetic. I would say it was very prophetic. It is very prophetic. Because all of the stuff that's happening that I wrote about in this book is happening right now, live today. And a lot of it is to do with the big trigger of the C word. You know? Coronavirus. The coronavirus. Okay? The coronavirus is the trigger, is the catalyst, which is actually setting everything in motion for global restructuring. Now, restructuring, if you understand the tarot and you understand the astrology, it can be a very brutal process because it means like demolition for some aspects of the world so that things can be rebuilt, okay? It's just imagine like you have to, you know, what they do in the old days where they still do it today, where they take a big skyscraper and they realize that we can't use this skyscraper or this big house or this big apartment building or this big office anymore or this big bank. We have to blow it all up and then we have to rebuild it, okay? So that's kind of what this is all about. But it affects the whole planet, okay? It's pretty scary stuff. All right, it's very evident that the notifications aren't working at all, so I'm just going to hang out a little bit more over here. All right, so all right. Yeah, we could get very heavy here if we wanted to. We could get very philosophical here if we wanted to. But eventually, once we've kind of settled into the vibe of the show tonight, this is the first time I've done Sunday Night Live in about 4 months, okay? So, you know, a lot of people aren't expecting it, but we're doing it anyway, okay? Jeffrey's here, yay! So, eventually, we're going to come back and we're going to do some tarot readings, okay, for people. Sometimes tarot readings can be very prophetic. Not pathetic. I'm saying prophetic. Okay? And we're going to use, you know, maybe this deck, maybe another deck, whatever kind of deck it is. Yeah, there's a lot of big stuff happening across the world right now. I'm sure most people... Even if you're like myself, I barely watch the news at all. I hardly see anything. The only time I see the news is when I get one of those little bleeps that comes up on my smartphone, and that's it. And I pay attention. And it's incredible what is happening across the world right now. In some ways, it's just like, you know, so what? It's just this stupid virus thing. We've had viruses before. We had the bubonic plague in the 1300s. We had the Spanish flu in 1910. It wiped out 1/3 of the global population. You know, we had SARS. We had AIDS. We had swine flu. And now we've got coronavirus. So what? So what? Well, I think the difference this time is that everybody on planet Earth, which means pretty much everybody who has a smartphone, and people have smartphones even in the depths of the Amazon jungle and out in the tea plantations of India, okay? Smartphones, okay? Africa, they're everywhere. So you can't escape the knowledge, the awareness, than the news. So I think the difference this time is a realization on a global scale, on a massive global scale in real time, what happens when human beings behave in a way that is very unhealthy. Okay? It's very simple. And then what do you do now once you realize and once you admit that some of our behavior and our actions and our decisions lead to very, very dangerous, unhealthy outcomes. What do you do now? That's all it is. And this time around, it's happening on a global scale. We had the big shocker wake up in the year 2000 when we had the big 9/11 thing in the United States. Massive global event. Then we had the big financial breakdown, Wall Street, 2008, 2009. Massive global event. Affected the whole planet. You know, the financial markets ripped to pieces. And then guess what? Human beings just went back to doing what they did, pretending like nothing happened. And now here we are in 2020, and we have another massive outbreak which is threatening the global financial system on a scale that has never been imagined before. And it's happening now, in real time, live right now on your news channel. It's happening, okay? We can't get out of it. Yeah. See, look at what Path Traveler just wrote there. The Path Traveler has been watching the news, luckily, because it's good that somebody watches the news, keeps Terror Illumination informed. Italy is trying to quarantine 16 million people. And you can imagine, like, whatever the news is that's coming out of China, it is being heavily manipulated. There's news and then there's fake news. So, anyway, it's what's happening. It's like this massive global. I guess I would call it like an immune reaction. But it's happening on a global scale. And this is what happens when we live our lives the way we are living them today. Personally, I believe that good fences make good neighbors. And when you have very, very loose fences, very, very, let's say, flexible fences that people manipulate in order for financial advantage, sure, that makes sense in the short term. However, in the long term, let's look at what's happening right now. Okay? Okay, so I don't want to scare too many people. I'm fine. I'm fine. I hope you guys are fine. And we'll figure it out. Love Triber is part of the global solution. Yeah. By the way, everybody, you know, wet wipes, they're very, very handy. And reusable cleaning cloths, very, very handy. Hold on, I need a beverage. Cheers, everybody. As far as Terror Illumination is concerned, I'm going to make sure I have plenty of supplies of this stuff, okay? It's one of my little magic potions. Anyway, so this might be a very short show tonight because there's really nobody here. Well, there are people here, and you're really good people. But in terms of quantity, I don't know what to tell you. So I'll do what I can over the next few months to see if I can like salvage the channel and try and revive the notifications so that people are aware. And then we can maybe have a chance of communing with each other in a way that's actually, you know, more functional, more viable, more useful, more valuable. Okay? Yeah, fake news. I saw that, Path. I see that. Wait a minute. All right, so... Okay. Cheers, everyone. Okay, I'm going to announce again. Again. I'm not sure who's watching. I can see that there's Love Triber, Fritaly, Taylor, Jeffrey. Is that it? I know you guys. I know you. Oh, yeah, I got you, Taylor. Yeah. Okay. I'm just checking through the chat now. Who's there? Okay. And okay. So, as far as I'm aware, there's 4 people actually active in the chat right now, and there was about 7 or 8. It's listed on my viewer scroller thing up there at the top. Like, you know, there's this thing that I can see. And so people have been coming and going and checking in and checking out. And what I was trying to do earlier, like about 20 minutes ago, was to try and grab somebody. Okay? If there's someone out there. Oh, hold on. Yeah, sorry. I was just reading the chat. So if there's anyone out there who is not Fritaly, Taylor, Love Triber, or Path, please, we invite you to introduce yourself. Come and hang out with us. Join up. And basically you get a prize. Okay? If you just tuned in or something, and you will get a little mini prize, and I'll tell you what it is. Hold on. I'm going to sneeze, and I don't have the bug. Sorry about that. Wow. Don't worry, I'm fine. I'm fine. I promise you, I'm just fine, in case you're interested. And you can't catch anything through the internet like this, okay? So anyway, if there's some, okay, so there's a few more people watching than who are actually checking in on the chat. So what happens here on Sunday Night Live, we were doing it for a few years, and then I had a breakdown, went away, now I'm back. We did some interim shows for about 3 or 4 months, but now we are back on American Pacific Standard Time, and I started at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And basically what I'm offering is for one of the newbies who are out there, anyone who's out there, okay, anyone who's out there who's never done this before, if you have the, let's just say the curiosity, or the courage, or the, like the goofiness to log in and type in chat, and you've never been here before, and you don't mind the idea that we get to know you, you get to know us, then you, whoever you are, you will get a free mini reading. Okay, and people pay really good money for this stuff, so I'm just letting you know. If you are the one who checks in and you get that, then yeah, you're going to get your little, basically you will get your own magic post-it note. Wait a minute, Nikki, yo, Nikki, I know you've been here before many times. Thank you very, very much. Hello, Nikki. Bless you. Bless you. Bless you. And Michael. Hello. Look at that. Oh, we got All Sun. We got Nikki, Love Triber, Taylor, Path. I know there's another. I know I missed some. Who did I? Fritaly. Yeah. Anyway, good to see you all. Cheers. What I like when I'm here, I'm doing my little show, and that's great, and it's like this, we're living in this little miniature space bubble, but every now and again I get to look and check in with the chat, and I can see what you guys are doing. I mean, I know sometimes you guys talk about all sorts of crazy stuff that I might not be talking about personally, and that's actually kind of a thrill for me. Let's have a look. What's going on here? Okay. Hi, Nikki. Hi, old son. Look at that. Look at what Taylor just wrote. Taylor remembers. Oh, my goodness. I remember when I was the newbie and I was so scared. It's understandable, right? It's perfectly understandable. It's kind of like being at one of those shows, like you're at a little carnival or you're one of those little traveling circuses or something, and like you're a mom or you're a dad and you've taken your little kids to the show, and then pretend Terra Illumination is like a magician or something, and we have to get somebody up on the stage, and the Terra Illumination says, I see you. I see you. Okay. So, like, do you have the nerve to come up and get on stage? And then, like, imagine you're like Taylor Cruz when Taylor Cruz was a little girl, and you kind of go, oh no, not me. No, I can't do that. I can't possibly go on stage. No. Oh, no, I can't do it. And then, oh, they're talking about the new people. Okay, see? It's fine. It works. It's not a bad thing. Okay? It looks like a couple more people are getting notifications. So let's be patient. I'm tempted to play some music, but I don't have enough courage right now. A few weeks ago when I was doing a show from New Zealand, I was standing there playing a guitar and things, and it's because I was just basically totally high. I was not high on anything like this or anything. I was just high on love, the healing power of love, and I thought, I can do anything. I can be anything. And so I just started singing on camera, okay? Yeah, so thank you, Taylor, for mentioning that. What Taylor was mentioning is that there was a time when Taylor Cruz was a complete newbie, and she had been watching the show before, times, maybe several times, and eventually she kind of went like, okay, I'm going to do it. I'm going to type it in, like, hello, I'm a newbie. But she did it, and now she's here. She's already had her free reading, so, that's all history. But in the meantime, yeah. Actually, I have to tell you, Taylor, I have to admit this. I've never seen Shrek. I've never seen it. I know it's a very, very good movie. It's very, very highly rated. But I've never seen it. So I don't really know the story. I'm sorry. Okay, sorry. All right. Cheers. So has anybody got any... I know Path. I know, Path, that you had some really like wacky stories about what's happening in your world because of the virus, okay? I wonder if anyone else has got some really wacky stories. It's pretty like... right now I'm over in Los Angeles, and I live right near the beach in Venice, and it's like it's not happening. Nobody cares. There's nobody around here doing any kind of panic buying. The grocery stores are packed with goodies, okay? The Chinese fast foods are open. People are walking around without masks, okay? I don't know what to tell you. LAX, the Los Angeles International Airport, is just down the street here. When I got back from New Zealand a few days ago, it was like a ghost town. The airport was like a freaking ghost town. And when I took the plane out of Auckland to come to Los Angeles, Auckland Airport was like a ghost town. There was just a very small number of people there. There were no, normally they have huge lines full of Chinese tourists. They're not there. Okay? It's all gone. And so you had this extremely weird kind of surreal atmosphere, okay? Look at what look what Path Traveler just wrote. Look at that. Okay. All right. Path Traveler, as far as I recall, you're in Kentucky. You're in deep, rich American heartland. Okay. You are protected. You are surrounded. You are guided. You have the U.S. military all around you. All the major ports, like on the East Coast, on the West Coast, they're thousands of miles away. You're the person who's least likely to be affected on the whole planet. And yet, she says here, no one is in any drive-through windows for food here. It's like the drive-thrus have shut down. Okay. I guess different neighborhoods feel differently about what's happening. Drive-thrus are empty in Las Vegas too. It's weird. Okay, so maybe where I live here in Venice Beach, Los Angeles, maybe we are the freaks. Maybe we are the strange ones. But nobody is paying any attention to it here. Everybody's walking around like everything's perfectly normal. It's just fine. Okay, hold on. I want to read the chat. Yes, Taylor, I have seen Mike Myers as Austin Powers. Oh, yeah. Mike Myers, okay. Yeah. And Love Triber is saying that Monsters, Inc. has a pretty good message, too. I haven't seen these. Maybe I should just do that. Okay. All right. So, I don't know how to respond. I personally feel like I'm more or less immune. Okay? I know I'm kind of ranting a little bit at the moment about this whole like virus thingy because it is a global phenomenon. But look at that! Look at that! Love Triber is saying that Nellis Air Force Base has been overly active here in Vegas. And Path Traveler has Black Hawk helicopters doing their firing and testing. Oh my God. Okay. Okay. So I might not be freaking out. My little Venice Beach neighborhood might be freaking out, but it's very obvious that the American government, the American military, and most cities across the United States are freaking out. I know this for a fact that where I was living in New Zealand, the grocery stores were gutted. They were emptied out with panic buying. Okay? All the big stuff, all the stuff that people buy when there's an epidemic, it's all gone. It's gone. And so the big stores are struggling to keep up and catch up with the demand for the really raw staple survival foods. Okay. Yeah. Anyway, I'm not panicking. Why? Because as far as I'm concerned, this was inevitable. Everything that's happening right now today, as far as I'm concerned, it was inevitable, and it might have taken decades to get here. And I really feel that my little book was kind of relating to the subject matter about global restructuring, but it is happening right now. We are living in it. This is a historical time, okay? Astrologically, it's very significant. The nearest equivalent, and for anyone who's listening or curious about it, the nearest equivalent was 1776 here in the United States, okay? Oh my gosh, look at that! Path Traveler is saying that there are stores there that are putting up signs that are limiting how much of certain items that can now be purchased. Oh my God. The thing is that this is happening on a global scale, when we had the Wall Street meltdown in 2008, 2009, it did affect all the banks and economies, but mostly it affected Wall Street. And we paid them out. We bailed them out. But this time around with the coronavirus, it's affecting everybody on the whole planet. Everything with all import, export, finances, banking, global infrastructure. Hold on. Love Driver saying, hey Taylor, go to Sally's Beauty Supplies and buy a gallon of alcohol for $15. Put it in a spritzer bottle. Ooh, that's probably a very economical way for doing sanitization. Good point. Cheers. Righty-ho. Righty-ho. I'm not sure what's happening over here at Terra Lumination, but it's obvious from my perspective here, because I'm the guy who owns this channel. I'm the guy who sets up the shows. I do the readings. I make the little videos. I know I'm only just doing like random shows now and again. I don't do all the monthly reports anymore. But when was it? About a week ago, we were in New Zealand and we were doing things, and I guess like about 10 days ago, the whole coronavirus global scandal was only just building up momentum. It pretty much started, the big global momentum started with the Pisces new moon, okay? And 2 weeks here later, like tomorrow in the United States, we have the full moon, okay? So, hear me out, hear me out, okay? 2 weeks ago, we had the Pisces new moon in a very strong, rich, harmonious connection with all the Capricorn energy. Okay? And the way I felt it personally is that the Pisces new moon is a very powerful message for the revelation of the invisible enemy. Okay? The hidden enemies. Because that's what the 12th house represents. That's what Pisces represents in its shadow expression. It's the energy of disease, contamination, imprisonment, funguses, viruses, bacteria, hospitalization, imprisonment. And it all happens in a way that you never see it coming, okay? That's the flip side of Neptune energy. And that was happening. And you could feel the momentum building up. And now it is on the full stage of, like, it's on the global stage. When I go to my little smartphone, all day long, it's just coronavirus, coronavirus, coronavirus. So that's kind of what it is. But the thing is, back then, 2 weeks ago, we were actually doing little tiny shows from New Zealand. And we had, even though we were not broadcasting at the time like we do tonight for the regular Sunday Night Lives, even though we were broadcasting randomly on Fridays or Saturdays, there were a lot more notifications that are going out, okay? Now, tonight, it is very evident here because I own the channel and I see what happens in the background with all the, what they call the analytics. It's very obvious that the notifications setting has been switched down to minimum, the absolute minimum, without closing down the channel. And so basically people are not being notified. I went to war with YouTube about this. Please explain to me why all my bulk notifications are being squashed or reduced or eliminated. And they gave me so many bogus stories that it was obviously just a load of BS. But now it's true. It's very, very evident, okay? Because normally by this time, we've been live here for almost an hour. By this time, there would have been 20, 30, 50 maybe 100 notifications going out, maybe 200 or 300 notifications going out, which is still a very, very tiny number for the size of the channel. And maybe 10% of those would have responded. But right now, I can tell from watching the numbers here, because I can see it on a little monitor thing over there, that there's nothing happening. I don't have an explanation, but that's what it is. Yes, it's true. Thank you, Path. This is how it is, people. Wow. It's really scary to me. Oh, you know what I should do while we're here? I'm probably gonna, I have to connect with the actual Patreon members very soon, because I need to thank them. A lot of them have left, they're leaving, and I understand, but there's a few diehards who are still there. Thank you very, very much. And I just want to say thank you for all the Patreon members who are still here, who are still supporting the channel, because I'm serious. I'm really, really serious. Every little membership counts, and it's very valuable to the channel. I understand and I accept that the channel is going this way, and it's very sad. It's very heartbreaking for me. But while the channel exists, while the channel is alive, I am alive, and I'm not going to wallow in misery anymore. I've been through that. I've already been through the symptoms of death and dying, and I'm already out on the other side. I'm a very happy man, okay? I'm a very lucky man. I'm a very blessed man. I'm a very wealthy man, okay? That's what I feel inside of here. And that is happening despite the crushing behavior of the way the channel was treated by YouTube. Basically, YouTube, without telling anybody, has basically, they have basically a discriminatory algorithm. They have a process of curating channels. And once they have made a decision that they don't like your channel, they don't want your channel, but they don't have an actual legitimate, honest, legal reason to shut you down, what they do is they switch you over to what I call a suppression algorithm, which is basically like suffocation. They just dial it down and dial it down and dial it down. Basically, it's like, hey, wait a minute, I just saw somebody. Ninja Star! Ninja Star! Ninja Star! Ninja Star! Ninja Star! Ninja Star! Thank you! Thank you, Ninja Star, for showing up and having the courage to type your name on the screen. You're going to get a reading. Okay? You're going to get a reading, Ninja Star. Okay? Wow! Oh, this is so cool! It actually worked. Thank you for your patience, everybody. I saw somebody else. Who was that? Somebody else just showed up that I missed earlier. Stay there. Give me a second, people. Topaz. Hello, Topaz. I see you. Who was that? There was someone else. Hold on. Ninja Star. Okay, Ninja Star, just hang out. Just be patient. You're going to get your own magic post-it note. Okay, stay there. I'm not kidding. Oh, this is so cool. This is so cool. I saw Josie. Josie, I see you. Hello, Josie. Hello, Josie. I see you. I see your name on the chat there. I know you've been here before. I've seen your name here a few times. So, sadly, you're not going to get the, well, I don't know. We'll see what happens, okay? But right now, actually, I forget what I just said there. Welcome, Josie. You are almost close to being a newbie, but I know I've seen you here before, so we'll see what happens. But right now, I just want to go back to the stage, and I want to award Ninja Star your own personal, private magic post-it note. I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. This is real, people. This is actually happening. Hold on to your hat. I'm serious. All right. Ninja Star. Ninja Star. Welcome, welcome, welcome. My gosh. Ninja Star, you're going to get a reading. You are going to get a live, online tarot illumination mini reading. Just the same kind of reading that other people paid $10. Okay? And so, as you know, you've already figured out that Tarot Illumination actually has a channel, and I do full-on consulting and private meetings for people anyway. Even though the YouTube channel and the YouTube algorithm has basically, obliterated the channel, I'm still here. I'm actually still alive. So I'm really grateful. Thank you very much. Hello, Topaz. So Ninja, you now are going to go over here. I'll show you. See this? This goes here. It's obviously a very tiny show tonight, but that's okay. It's all right. It's all right. We keep going anyway. Let me, hold on. I need to just have a little top up. Give me a second. Give me a second. It's been an absolutely magic day over here in terms of synchronicity and having amazing things happen all in a row, one by one after another. It's like living in a magic castle, okay? Let me go back over here. I want to check in. Hey, okay. I see you. Hi, Topaz. Greetings, Topaz. Yes, Ninja, you should be excited. And there's another reason why you should be excited. You'll probably be wetting your pants if you're not careful. You're actually going to get the first reading. Ha 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 ha. Ho 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 ho. Because that's what it looks like. What happens is your magic post-it note is going to go over here into center stage. And you're going to be the one who gets the first reading on the show tonight. Thank you very much. If there's anyone, are there any other newbies out there? I saw Josie earlier. God, maybe I'm just gonna have to give away a whole bunch of freebies tonight. I can't handle it, but it's a lot of work. But anyway, I don't want to give away. Hold on. Yes, Ninja Star, you were meant to be here. By the way, I was thinking about this. If anybody is deeply connected with pop stars, movie stars, ninja stars, or whatever, if you have any friends who are like rich and famous pop stars and they're desperate for a pop song, then please set up an introduction. Thank you very much. Okay, thank you, Path. I get the message. We're going to do it right now. We're going to freaking go for it right now. Let's put all this other paraphernalia aside and let's get on with the show. Okay, it's showtime, people. I'm going to leave a blank spot here. Cheers, everybody. Put this aside over here. You know what? I'm going to go totally exclusive. Put that over here. Put the rest of the magic post-it notes over here. I'm going to use a different deck tonight, just for the hell of it. And let's just basically let the show begin. Let the events begin. Cheers, everybody. I just want to see Prost. Oh, there's Jeffrey. Yeah. I know. I'm doing it, Path. I'm good. I'm breaking out the cards. Stop. Break out the cards. I just want to check in. Thank you, Path. Because you already know that I'm very ungrounded. I don't have any Earth. I don't have any Capricorn, Taurus, or Virgo in my chart, except for a few esoteric points, which is fine. But there's no substitute for having a real bunch of really juicy planets and a big pile of Earth signs to keep you grounded. Sadly, I don't have any of that. So if I sound like I'm kind of going off into outer space on a regular basis, and I go here and I go there, and I'm like a piece of cloud or smoke or whatever, that's normal. And sometimes it takes someone like Path Traveler who has the courage to basically say, Terra Illumination, stop, take out the cards. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. Thank you. Thank you, Path. Thank you very much. Okay, here we go. All right, Ninja Star, you're up. Okay. Okay. All right, Ninja Star. This is it. It's going to be very simple, very straightforward. Ninja Star, right now, we're going to go totally blind. If you do have a really serious, important issue, and you can put it into one word, you're welcome to type it in the screen while I'm shuffling. In other words, hello, Terra Illumination. What are the messages that your cards have for me tonight, Ninja Star, regarding the subject matter of ... And you fill in the blank. Now that blank could be things like, finance, health, spiritual evolution, children, I don't know, relationships, love, my home, health, whatever it is. You're welcome to type one word, just one word. You don't have to do that. If you want to, I will go totally blind. Sometimes when we start totally blind, it's more fun. I'm just letting you know. Okay, Ninja, we're going to start shuffling now. That's your turn. Here we go. All right, Ninja Star. Yes, in case anybody doesn't know, in case you're not aware, this is Sunday Night Live, Terra Illumination. We started at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time here on the West Coast in California at Venice Beach, zip code 90291. Okay? And we are already 1 hour into the show, and we have not even yet done our first reading, but we're going to do it now, okay? Ninja Star. Okay. Okay. I see that. Okay. Okay. So a couple of things here. We've identified Ninja Star is female. Number two, we're going to go big. She wants what do the cards have to say regarding, I don't know, everything. Okay. So Ninja Star, we're going to cover absolutely everything in this one mini reading. So I'm going to use the situational spread. This is the very same spread that Terra Illumination uses with the White House and the president. It doesn't matter who the president is. The president has a direct hotline to Terra Illumination, and when they go into the situation room and things get really tricky, they give Terra Illumination a call, and we do this spread, and we figure it all out. Okay? So that's what we're going to do now. It's very normal. This is perfectly normal. Everything that's happening right now is absolutely normal, okay? So, dear Ninja Star, what I would recommend is the usual thing. Get your hazmat goggles on, put on some rubber gloves if you want to, cover yourself in a heavy tarp, and maybe, have a water bottle with an extension hose where you can sip, because you never know what's going to come out. On the other hand, if you want to, you can just sit there and meditate looking like a Buddhist guru, if you want to. And just whatever happens, happens, okay? All right, here we go. Oh, I'm finally doing a reading. Wow. I've never gone this long on a show without doing a reading. Crazy, crazy. Cards are well shuffled. And by the way, Ninja Star, while we're doing this, please have a look around you. Gaze around you. Look at your space, your room, your environment. And blink. I would invite you to take a few deep breaths and blink a few times and see if you can have a glimpse of your invisible friends. Okay? Okay? Cards are cut. Here we go. All right, here's the situation. Here's the challenges of the situation. Here's how we're going to handle it. And let's have a look at the environmental influences. I think of it as weather. Mostly I consider it from the aspects of the planets. So we have the Tower. Okay, don't be scared, dear ninja. The Tower is sometimes for some people one of the most frightening cards in the whole deck. But from a spiritual perspective, this is a card of ultimate blessings, of ultimate healing, because what it does, it contains the energy of obliteration. Basically, it's like I have a little saying that I have that kind of matches up with this. Just imagine like you, Ninja Star, we're in a meeting together, and you were coming in blind. You had absolutely no idea what was going to happen. Pretend Terra Lumination has a little tiny caravan, and I'm in your neighborhood, and I just pulled up in your neighborhood, and I'm outside on your street, and you can walk inside. It's like a little gypsy caravan or something, and you kind of knocked in there and like, oh, you do tarot readings? And I say, yes, this is your moment, Ninja. And everything becomes very magical, okay? And before we even go into the reading, I feel the urge to say a little blessing. It goes like this. This is for you, Ninja Star. This is for you. Please, and this is regarding the Tower card. Dear angels, dear guardians, dear invisible friends, dear guiders and protectors, please bring to me that which is mine. Please take away from me that which is not mine. Okay? I'm not going to read that again. You can do it on a, action replay. But basically the idea is to invite the evolutionary waves to come to you. In other words, it's like you're saying to your angels, I want to evolve. I want to adapt. I want to grow. Please bring to me everything that I need. Please take away from me everything that's not mine. So when that happens, it's basically you are invoking the healing power of love with great courage. And like if you have a lot of debts to take care of, if you have a lot of forgiveness to do, or if you have a lot of self-love to learn about, all that will come to you. You will find ways for that to happen. And if you have been expending energy on time, places, people, situations that are really not relevant to you in your life, that will start to disappear. Now, all of that can feel beautiful and frightening at the same time, because that's the wonder about the Tower card. Basically, everything that is not relevant to you and your life in your world is going to be either radically or slowly or systematically obliterated. Okay? And what happens then, it becomes whatever's left becomes the fertilizer for a new start, okay? So as frightening as this is, it's also something very beautiful because you have to reveal it to heal it, okay? Okay. Here we go. Let's have a look. What's the situation with Ninja Star? Okay, 7 of Pentacles. Okay, with the 7 of Pentacles here, my feeling is that you're going through a little bit of a dark night of the soul when I match this up with this over here, where right now, whether you like it or know it or not, you're having to face some serious, heavy reality checks about your life in your world. It could be to do with money. It could be to do with home, family, relationships, qualifications, jobs, work, career, all these things that are very, very tangible, earthly things that are very, very important to you. And then with the 7 energy here, it's a realization like, wow, I have all these assets and gifts, but I've also got a lot of very, let's say, what's the word I'm looking for? There's a lot of interference that's happening at the same time that, if I'm honest and I admit it to myself, it's my own doing, which is my own undoing. In other words, my God, I have to take full responsibility for my own increasing wealth and abundance and tuning into what really, really counts in life at the same time as on the understanding that I have to take full responsibility for everything and anything that is not working in my life. Okay? You own it. Because the message here is that Ninja, dear Ninja Star, it is time to be aware that with full maturity, full ownership and possession of your life and your world and everything in it, your people, your loved ones, your love life, pets, finances, health, it's all yours, okay? And whatever is working, that's great. But whatever is not working, that's your problem. And you have to take care of it, okay? No one else can take care of it. That's your problem. You have to do it. You're the one who has to clean out the gutters, in the roof of your life. You're the one who has to take more time to rest. You're the one who has to look into your finances more deeply to figure out what you're doing wrong. You're the one who's going to have to repair fences, repair relationships, and stop relationships that are not working and start to work in relationships that are working. Okay, so that's a lot of work. This is a lot of work, okay? Over here. So, what are the problems? With the moon card here, to me it feels like there is a very deep, profound animal fear, deep fear of terror of having to face this energy here that I just described. In other words, the very last thing you would ever want to do on this planet is have to deal with this SHIT, okay? It's not bad, it's just that this is a realization that in your own life, in your own world, in every aspect of your life, you're facing a cleanup campaign, okay? A total makeover cleanup campaign in your life, in your world. How you're living, your belief systems, the people you share your time with, the people you work with, your family, your friends, your loved ones, your pets, your car, your mortgages, your credit card, everything needs to be observed and looked at. And you've got to figure out, what am I doing wrong? How am I going to fix it? And that is a terrifying prospect. Because you might have been one of these lucky people who's managed to kind of skate through things without too much problem. But that's not happening anymore. With this reading, you're at a point where you have to face reality, okay? And that's a very frightening prospect. At a very kind of this feels like, to me, it's like, how your stomach churns when you get really bad news about something. Your stomach gets really grinding. That's what I'm feeling here. And you have to know that and admit it. Okay, so how do you deal with that? Because you have to deal with it. So how do we do that? Okay, so with the Five of Cups here, my feeling is this is a very sad card for some people, the way they look at it. The way to handle your situation is to admit and understand that life moves on. It's a perpetual river. It's a never-ending stream of energy. And it's however painful it is for you to face yourself, face your world, face your reality of everything that's not working, however frightening that is to you, the thing to do right now is to face it on the understanding that you might feel a lot of pain, a lot of grief, a lot of heartache, a lot of suffering as you go through the actual process of facing this. But when you come out the other side, you get the chance to start again. Okay? The way I look at it here is that there's a little tiny Two of Cups here, a very beautiful, serene, pure energy of love waiting for you. But you can't access this until you open your heart fully to the full expanse of what's really happening in your life, in your world, and then taking this incredibly brave, courageous journey to step into the river of life, the flow of life, deal with it, and then come out the other side, okay? So your reading here is a very, to me, this is almost like what is happening to humanity right now, but this is very personal for you. In other words, there's a lot of perhaps very personal pain that you have set aside that you haven't wanted to deal with, but now you have to deal with it, and so now is the time to do it. And in other words, allow yourself to grieve. In other words, if you're going to have to say goodbye to someone or something, or an attitude or a belief, a relationship where that you had love or what you thought was love. I loved my pet, I loved my home, I loved my partner, whatever it is. But the realization is that, time moves on, and basically whatever kind of grief or fear that is inside you, it's very important to let it flow. Have like a huge emotional release, let it go, and so that you basically give yourself permission and the courage and the energy to live on. Start all over again, okay? Okay, and rebuild. Global restructuring also is the same for you, is personal restructuring. Basically, let everything fall apart. Just allow it to fall apart. Allow yourself to be sad at the experience, and then you start from scratch again. It is a very powerful healing. You've got to reveal it to heal it. Okay, Ninja? You've got to reveal it to heal it. Thank you very much. That's your reading. Okay. Bravo. Wow, you were very courageous to be here, Ninja Star. I'm going to put this aside. I'm going to put on a little song called I Surrender. Give me a second here. I want to put this on for... this is for Ninja Star. It's a Terror Lumination song called I Surrender. Okay, it sounds like this. I hope this is the right file. I surrender. Oh, how the body craves. Oh, how the heart it aches. Oh, how the soul knows all of this. Feels like you manifested me in ways that match perfectly, answering my own wish for sure. So many lifetimes in the making. This time round there is no faking, no mistaking. I surrender, I surrender. My hands are held up high, my knees are on the ground. I surrender, I surrender. I hand myself over to the mystery of your sweet embrace. There's no going back, don't even have any maps to our new futures. There's only our next breath. We're so fully committed and so fully engaged, so courageous and fighters to the death. Building bridges from your heart to my heart, forging bonds of honest structure, our new start. I surrender, I surrender. My hands are held up high, my knees are on the ground. I surrender, I surrender. I hand myself over to the mystery of your sweet embrace. There's no way around this, only way out is through. There's no way around this, open the door to bliss. Only way out is through, that's what we're gonna do, yeah. I surrender, I surrender. My hands are held up high, my knees are on the ground. I surrender, I surrender. I hand my to the mystery of your sweet embrace. I surrender. My hands are held up high, my knees are on the ground. I surrender, I surrender. I hand myself over to the mystery of your sweet embrace. All right. Well, guess what? Thank you, Path. Thank you so much. You know what I'm thinking right now? This show is so weird. We are so out of sync with the notifications and the awareness, the public awareness of the channel at all. What I would like to do is I'm going to read for Path Traveler right now. And normally this show is like a super chat show. Normally, thank you, Ninja. I didn't mean to hurt you. I didn't know. This is basically a super chat show. If people want a reading, you put $10 into the slot. You go to the super chat button, you put in $10, you get a reading. I don't care who you are, where you come from. It doesn't matter. We don't discriminate here. However, as you can see, we're having a very strange show tonight in terms of public awareness. And so in order to keep the vibes going, the good sweet vibes going, what I'm going to do now is basically say welcome to Manifesting Love, because you're completely new, okay? I've never seen you here before. I don't really have a memory about all this. I don't actually have a log. I don't keep a captain's log about all the people, but I swear I've never seen you here before. So what I'm going to do, in other words, to fill out the show, to fill out the time, I'm just going to give away a free one. You're going to get a free reading, okay? So please hang in and tell your friends, because this is like a once-in-a-lifetime thing. From here onwards, you got to pay, okay? So next time, and the same thing for Infinite Wellness, okay? So you're completely brand new. I can tell from your names and your titles that you probably have a YouTube channel, or you do astrology, or you do energy healing, or you do readings, or something like with, bringing the healing power of love to this planet from up above. And so the way I'm looking at it is you know what? We're going to do this because there's hardly anybody here at the show tonight, and there's hardly any super chat money coming in, but I'm still very motivated to do the show. I have to keep the show going. The show is not over. The channel is not dead yet, okay? So basically to keep the good vibes going, you're going to get one, okay, Manifesting Love? You're going to get one, Infinite Wellness, okay? Just letting you know. So hang in. Don't go away, okay? Right now it's all about Path Traveler. So by the way, you guys, Manifesting Love and Infinite Wellness, if you're not going to hang around, please type it in, let us know, and I will take you off the list, because I'm not going to do a reading for you if you're not here, because I'm just giving these away for free, for fun. So just please let me know. Are you going to stay here? And if so, let me know and you will get your reading. Same thing. Are you going to stay here, Manifesting Love? If so, hang in and you will get a reading, okay? This is a once-in-a-lifetime situation, so I hope you understand. Let's have a look. Yes, Ninja, you can get my music on Spotify. You can get it on all the big music places like, whatever it is, Amazon or Spotify or iTunes and all those things. I personally don't know how to do it, but I know, because I don't really buy music, I don't really listen to it, but oh, okay, Infinite Wellness. So Infinite Wellness, you're still here. So Infinite Wellness, I'm urging you, please stay, because eventually you'll get a reading, okay? Same thing for Manifesting Love. Please let me know if you're still here, because if you are and you've got the patience and you can hang in, you will get a reading too. Okay, Manifesting Love? I'm talking to you personally, all right? Here we go. As you've probably figured out, some of you In fact, no one's really asked me this before, but I'm just going to confess to everybody here. The reason I'm doing this channel right now, okay? No, it's true, Jeffrey. I very rarely listen to music at all. The problem is because my head is just full of music all day long anyway, okay? Yeah. Yeah, you can just go to Taylor. You can just go to Spotify and like click in Terra Lumination, and you'll see it all. Okay. Anyway, the reason I'm doing this whole Terra Lumination thing is because I'm waiting to become a rich and famous pop star, and which I believe is my true calling. And this is kind of I'm trying to do something useful in the meantime. So if anybody knows rich and famous pop stars who need a song, I'd be happy to have a conversation, and then we'll work out the royalty payments later. No problem at all. I'm a little bit beyond the shelf life for your average rock star, pop star, so I'm not expecting any miracles. But I'm still going. I still got some grooves going. Okay. All right, so, okay, hold on. I just want to see manifesting love. Okay, manifesting love is not typing in, so I'm very close to throwing this post-it note away. If you don't want your reading, don't worry, it will just disappear. But Infinite Wellness, if you're still here and you want your reading, I'm going to treat you as an utter complete newbie, and we're going to do a bunch of freebies here tonight because I'm trying to revitalize the channel and make everybody aware. Okay? Here we go. So path, let's have a look. Oh, what did Frittily say? Hey, TL, would you ever do TV again? Yeah. Well, no one has called me up about coming back to a TV show to do, technical advice for, tarot readers and astrologers and all of that, and psychics and mediums. Actually, I have to tell you, Frittily, no one has actually phoned me recently. Not in many years. And that's okay. That's all right. Okay, here we go. All right, Path Traveler, we're going to tune into you directly right now. Cuddle up with your guy. I hope the guys are there. I hope Falcon and Scamp are there. And we'll do this. This is going to be totally random from out of the blue. It's just going to be a little message for you from... It's like a kind of a need-to-know thing, okay? Here we go. What messages do we have for Path tonight regarding the matter of ... And we will allow the ... to speak for itself. Here we go. Here's the situation, here's the challenges, and here's how we're going to handle it. And let's have a look over here. Let's have a look at circumstantial energy, the influences. The thing is with you, Path, is that you're very, very aware already. And so what tends to happen is we get readings that are kind of like quite esoteric and very precision, very targeted, specific. So we're starting here with the Prince of Cups. All right, this is going to sound really strange, Path, but it's like to me it almost feels like you're surrounded by very, very good, loving energy. That just comes with the package of being Path Traveler. And you're reaching a certain level of maturity now, like what am I really supposed to do with this? What am I supposed to... How am I... This is like, it's almost like a message, a very, very, very gentle, very soothing, very subtle message coming to you from your invisible friends, saying to you, hey, Path, we want you to know that we feel that you're really, really good at this stuff of being who you are and what you do and how you do it. And it's like, have you ever considered taking it to the next level, whatever that would be? Now, please don't ask me, Path, to tell you what that is or how to do it. But with the Prince of Cups here, to me it's almost like you have a responsibility with the energies and things the way they are right now to really speak out and to really stay in your most loving, strong, courageous profile that comes naturally to you anyway, and kind of like making it almost like a mission or a purpose to keep into the light, keep into the love, making sure that you symbolize and represent the healing power of love, no matter how freakish or scary it gets, because you have a natural tendency to be very realistic, very grounded, but also at the same time having a really good understanding of what's really happening. And now to take this to the next level, like what's happening in the world right now is very, very frightening for a lot of people. And you are just like anyone else. In theory, you could allow yourself to be terrified and frightened. But my feeling is that what's happening here is that it's almost like you are being charged in your own world with your loved ones, your friends, your families, your local region to be and continue to be a beacon of the healing power of love. Almost like a champion, okay? Like a cage fighter, or like a speaker, or someone who their job is to be the champion, okay? So that other people feel that there is hope, okay? Okay, let's have a look. Let's have a look. What's the situation? Okay, so with the Hermit here, to me it feels like, it's like, okay, Tarot Lumination, thank you very much for all that stuff. That's really, really great. But do you have any idea what it's like to be me, Path Traveler, deep down? And this is kind of awkward. This feels very kind of awkward energy for me to actually report back to you. And I'd like to say, well, Path, like, actually I do have a bit of an understanding about how perhaps lonely it can be, or isolating it can be, or how like disorienting it can be to be someone of your nature who is so naturally tuned in to love, the healing power of love, just in a very natural way. In other words, you don't have to walk around, acting like a guru or chanting with beads or whatever all day. You're just naturally in the groove already. But the situation here is just like with the Hermit. It's almost like to me it feels like you're almost like looking around you. You're looking at the world around you, and you're realizing like, my God, it's a lonely place. Like when you're Path Traveler and you're on the path that I'm on, pretend that I'm actually speaking for you. Pretend that I'm actually Path Traveler. It's just like, jeepers, man. Tarot Illumination, do you have any idea what it's like to be me, really? I mean, I know we're buddies and everything, we've hung out and everything, but seriously, do you understand what it's like to have to be a beacon, to have to actually figure out these things on my own, by myself? Doesn't matter how many tarot readings I get or whatever, I still have to figure it out. Do you have any idea what it's like to be me? And that's one of the challenges of being very evolved, very singular, very much in tune with your true self. Sometimes you get these scary moments of like, oh my God, like you in other words, you don't have the luxury or the privilege of getting lost in the crowd. You don't have the the luxury of being a sheep and following this pattern or that pattern or the messages from someone else or someone there. You're one of those people who ends up having to go deep within, figuring things out and becoming a guiding light for yourself, and then as an after effect you become a guiding light and a champion for other people. Okay, so that's in some ways that's a very subtle, highly evolved but very heavy energy to channel, because in the human biology, in the biological sense, it can feel very isolating. Okay, now what's the problem here? Okay, to me it feels like there's a very, very deep wound going on here about the fear of never ever having that beautiful dreamlike sense of love, home, family, and romance and sweetness that you can get out of a really, really good love story or a movie, or like what someone else might have. And it's almost like, I mean, this is such a beautiful, rich card in its own way, but in this particular position, it's almost like the terror of not having this thing that, some people take for granted, or some people, it's almost like you're living life almost like imagining that everyone else out there is having this amazing home life, love life, beautiful, almost like cinematic experience of life and love and happiness, and that you're not getting at. You're the one person who's not getting that, even though you are a champion, even though you are one of the figureheads who actually lives this out. You're actually living this out by example. And this is going to sound really strange, Path, but it's almost like the deep fear of not getting this is actually what impedes the chance of having this. I'm not saying all of a sudden you're just going to switch your attitude and everything's just going to be this blissful, beautiful, romantic, cinematic, love ever after kind of storyline. No, I'm not saying that. All I'm suggesting is that the fear of not having this, it's what keeps it away. Just even have one of these, or two or three or four of these. Sometimes it's delicious just to have a bit of this. Okay? So how are we going to handle it? Okay? Okay, Pat, this is almost like an idiot's reading, okay? It's almost like the way to handle it is just to keep being Path Traveler. Just, accept and understand that you might have doubts, you might have fears, and that, I'm being cheated, or I'm being denied, or what am I missing? What am I missing? In many ways, Path, it's almost like you have all this anyway. You already have what everybody wants. It just might not be in the format that fits like your typical, movie of what this would look like. And so it becomes very confusing and hard to understand. And so the mystery, you keep having to go deeper and deeper into the depths of learning to figure out what it all means. And so over here, the way to handle it is basically you do a full circle, full loop. You just kind of do it in your own classic philosophical way, like, you know what? I'm just going to go back to being good old Path Traveler. I'm going to stay happy. I'm going to be happy. It is my choice. It is my right. I'm going to mind my own business, and I'm going to live my life moment by moment by moment, living in joy, living in happiness, no matter what. Okay? No matter what. And then it almost doesn't matter what happens here or here or here. Once you wake up every morning and you decide, okay, well, if I wanted to, I could be really miserable and depressed about this, or this. Or I could decide to, like, you know what? Yeah, maybe I am emotionally, physically, psychologically miserable about this, and this. But that's not going to stop me, path traveler, from living in the light, living in happiness, living in love, because that is my ultimate identity. I am literally the embodiment of love and light. Nobody can take that from me. And maybe you just needed to hear that from Terra Illumination to come back at you. That's all it is. And then you just keep going. In other words, you just keep going on path. You just stay on path, okay? Stay on path. Now, when you stay on path, of course, there are a lot of distractions and things that make you think like, well, maybe I should have gone there. Maybe that was my path, or maybe that was my path. No, you're the one who knows. You're figuring it out as you go along. And the joy is personal, okay? It becomes, this is something that nobody can take from you. You can't get this from a relationship. You can't get this from a lover or a husband, a boyfriend, a partner, or anything. This is the thing that can only come from deep within, and nobody can take that from you once you decide that this is how it is. Sure, it's wonderful to have all the other trappings of what other people might think of as life and love and happiness and everything, but this trumps everything, okay? So in some ways you're bulletproof. You're like literally bulletproof. Thank you, Path. All right, now, did manifesting love disappear? I'm just curious. Thank you, Path. I'm going to put Infinite Wellness up next because you're going to get a freebie. This is a once-in-a-lifetime thing. I know I can't see it right now, but that's you, okay? Infinite Wellness, that's you right here. And if anybody wants to put massive trust fund baby-sized donations in the pot, you're welcome to do so. Terra Illumination needs every donation possible right now. Thank you very much. In the meantime, I'm going to do a welcome reading for Infinite Wellness. I can't see that. I'm going to have to write on top of it. Give me a second. Okay, that's a little bit better. You know what? Thank you, Path. I'm going to play that song. I am guided. I am protected. Let me do that. Stay right there. Don't go away, everybody. Don't go away. So here's one. This is another song. This is another Terra Illumination song. Here we go. It's a short song, I think. It's 3 minutes or something. Hang in. I am guided, I am protected, 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 I am guided, I am protected. When the light of hope it fades, when all faith is blown away, when all sense of trust goes down, when a smile turns into frown, when it feels there's no relief, nothing in which to believe, desperate in woe and grief, angels come reminding me, I am guided, I am protected, 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 I am guided.
guided, I am protected, I am guided, I am protected, I am guided, I am protected, I am guided, I am protected. Angels gather close to me, show me what I cannot see. Angels take me by the hand, lift me when I cannot stand. Angels lead me through the dark, soothe and tend a broken heart, laughing at the circumstance, crying while we sing and dance. I am guided, I am protected, 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 I am guided, I am protected.
Well, well, well. So we did that. I thought that was a good song to throw in there in the middle of things. So we're back over here to Infinite Wellness. And I'm glad we have a few more people now. We're settling in a little bit better. What a strange evening. Okay, I have switched my beverages. I'm on to the fermented grape juice. Thank you very much. Hey Tina, welcome. Good to see you. Hi Tina. It looks like manifesting love disappeared, so I'm going to scrunch that up. Anyway, they had their chance. So, okay, Infinite Wellness. You're going to get your own reading. Here we go. Let's have a look. Let's see what happens. So, Infinite Wellness, I'm just going to go wide. I'm going to go big. Okay? You don't have to say anything. What I would ask, what I'm thinking here right now is like, if you could kind of gather yourself, switch off any kind of distractions. Don't worry about the chat too much. Maybe take a few breaths. I'm basically having to do this right now myself. I need to get a little bit centered here. There's a lot of energy, what I feel is moving around me right now. This particular full moon, okay, it's a Pisces Virgo full moon. The sun is in Pisces, the moon is in Virgo. It's very personal for me. And also the heavy monster Capricorn influence is very personal for me. And I'm trying to my best to stay in the most optimal flow of the waves of energy right now, okay? And it's actually very hard for me to do because I'm like my physical body is like super hypersensitive to like the planetary movements. Just a little shift, I feel it in my body. It's a curse and it's a blessing, okay? So I'm asking you, dear Infinite Wellness, if you could do whatever you have to do, like I would think like a couple of rapid breathing exercises to get centered and basically like vaporize anything and everything that is not relevant to you right now and just focus on being here with Terra Lumination. And this is just all about you and me right now. Okay? Here we go. Cards are extremely well shuffled in advance, but I'm going to go to the very last second so that you are a witness, okay? No jumpers, no flyers, no reversals. Keeping it very, very simple as humanly possible. Okay, here we go. Infinite Wellness. Let's have a look. What's going on here? We're going to use the same thing. It's a situational spread. Pretend you're just getting a quick diagnostics. Something was feeling a little strange or odd, and you decided to drive into your local Jiffy Lube auto tech place or something, and you wanted to get plugged in to their diagnostic machine. Okay, here we go. Here's the situation. Here's the challenges. Here's how we're going to handle it. No problem, of course. And what's the weather like for you? Let's have a look. We've got here the lovers. Okay, so infinite wellness. If you're in a situation in life right now where you are facing, let's say, very, very deep, to me it feels like you're in a situation right now where you have to be aware and you have to admit to yourself that you're going to have to make some tough decisions. Really, really tough decisions. And when I talk about the energy of decision making, for myself personally, I view the energy of decision making as fundamental to the process of evolution, growth, adaptation, and blossoming, basically becoming your most evolved self. To do that consciously requires making tough decisions. And sometimes one of the toughest decisions is accepting yourself as who you really are. Like, oh my God, I'm not as beautiful as I thought I was. I'm maybe not as rich as I thought I was. I maybe not have the relationships or the money or the whatever it is. And instead of pretending that doesn't exist, you basically accept it. You basically, it's time for you to look around your world and realize, okay, I am infinite wellness. I have such and such and such and such qualities and gifts and talents, and the reality is I don't have that, and that, and that. And yet, because my name is infinite wellness, I have a job and a reason and a mission to go forward, like with my best self, okay? And this is going to sound a little bit sensitive. Dear infinite wellness, if you have been masquerading or presenting yourself as like richer, happier, healthier, smarter, more beautiful than you know you really are deep inside, then it's really important to recognize that, understand that, but not judge yourself or condemn yourself because of that, and just understand and accept that, wow, it's okay to be me in my fullest self as a human being, and knowing that, yes, sometimes things work, sometimes things don't work out. And some people think of this as a relationship card or as a marriage card or a boyfriend-girlfriend card, and when things get very serious, are they going to dump me? Am I going to dump them? Are they going to dump me? And so on and so on. My feeling is that this is your reading. It's all about you. So I don't want to put this energy of relationship onto anyone else. This is about you, and it's about, to me, it's really, really, it's like a very, very big, heavy, serious, but very gentle, loving message to you, Infinite Wellness, that it's really time to, like fall in love with yourself, become married to yourself, and to accept yourself in your full splendor, but also in your full weakness, just like every human being. Like, you have parts of you that are despicable, dishonorable, shameful, things that you don't want people to know, things about your life that are just like you would rather, like, I don't want to, no, that's not me. My feeling here is to embrace your full self. It's like, it's time to, it's like, be really, really honest with yourself about how you have to love yourself how you are. Thank you, Jeffrey. I see that, a big yellow light on the screen. Thank you. Like some people, for some, in a situation like this is about you. It's like accepting yourself. It's time for you to accept yourself in all your weaknesses, your frailties, your fragilities, your animal nature self, your limitations, the fact that you're going to be born, you live, and then you're going to die. And at the same time, you are a glorious spiritual being, okay? And you have to live all of that. You can't just pretend like you're amazing like a star child and that none of the shadow parts of the self exist, okay? It's time now to be fully married to the self, okay? In all your splendor and in all your fragilities. Okay, what's the situation? Okay. Okay, with the Two of Swords here, my feeling is that like you're at a like a point of awareness right now where you're becoming aware that you are picking up more and more and more what I would call high sensory perception, HSP, high sensory perception information. Like you're becoming more and more aware, more and more in tune with things like synchronicity, like the magic of timing. It's a very Uranus energy, what I'm feeling here, like the energy of spontaneous knowledge, spontaneous wisdom, spontaneous awareness, spontaneous knowing. And it's literally like you're turning into a really like you are improving in terms of becoming like a high sensory perception being. And it's part of it is kind of cool, but part of it is awkward because you don't really know about the calibration, you know, like, oh, what was that? Am I picking up some clairsentience? Is that clairaudience? Is that clairvoyance? Is that clairsmelliance or whatever that is? And what's happening here is that it feels to me like you're going through an awakening process where you're realizing that there's a lot more going on in your life, in your world, than the physical three-dimensional aspects of your life. And you are basically starting to tune in more and more to your, let's say, spiritual awareness. The energy of consciousness, the energy of higher consciousness, the energy of connecting with the great beyond. And sometimes that's a little bit disorienting because you sometimes don't have reference points like, oh, like, whoa, like, what was that? What was that? Like, was that just a piece of spontaneous knowledge that came to me from my invisible friends? Or was that just some piece of regurgitated goop that I was forced to learn when I was a child? I have to learn more. I have to understand more what's going on. And sometimes the only way to do that is literally with the blindfold here, is to trust deep within that your sensory systems, okay, imagine, okay, inside of here, inside the center of your brain is the pituitary gland, okay? This tells me that you are starting to tap into the power of your pituitary gland so that you have a broader sense of perspective and awareness of the world around you and the importance of, let's say, truth, integrity, and honesty about what's real and what's not real. Okay, it's really, really important right now, and you have to be aware of it. The Two of Swords here and the Lovers here, there is a strong sense of you coming into your awareness that you do have choices, you do have options. Life is not planned out for you necessarily. Yes, you might feel that there's like a certain destiny and so on, but ultimately you are starting to realize that decision making is fundamental to your own evolution, adaptation, and growth so that you can blossom into greater and greater divinity. But it happens one decision at a time. And it sounds like, well, what's that got to do with love? What's that got to do with healing? It's nothing to do with it at all. It's the process of like tapping into tapping into, like if your title is Infinite Wellness, like if you're into the energy, the whole idea of infinite wellness, it's like, let's say you are someone who has an infinite wellness program, or you're a healer or a teacher or something like that. It's very, very important. You just can't like stuff people full of like doctrines. You have to do this, do this, do this, do this, do that, and you'll be fine. It's very important that it's a decision. It's very, very important to understand that decision making is so fundamental to wellness, okay? Choosing to be happy, as opposed to thinking that happiness is something that you deserve, okay? So what's the problem here? Okay, to me, it feels like the problem right now is trusting in your intuition, trusting that there is anything beyond your five senses, okay? So to me, this is a very physical card here. The Lover's card, to me, it looks very physical, like you're dealing with the physicality of being a human being, living in the duality of humanhood, like you're like the uncontrollable animalistic part of yourself, and then the highly spiritual divine aspect of yourself, and it's all happening simultaneously. You're dealing with it and figuring it out, but there's a deep, deep fear of what actually happens in the world of high sensory perception. In other words, it's almost like, you could read about spirituality. You could read about clairvoyance, clairaudience, clairsentience, and, psychic interventions or whatever that. But it's a very different thing to actually be a person who lives in the state of higher sensory perception, where you are actually like an antenna, where you actually are one of those people who receives energy and transmits signals. In other words, you're receiving energy and you're transmitting energy, and you're doing it purely on trust, where you have given your whole life self-being over to being a transceiver, okay? Being a transceiver is fundamental to like tarot illumination understanding about how life works and so on, because I feel that we are all transceivers. You are constantly transmitting energy and constantly receiving energy. So this is very much about filtering. And to me it feels here with the High Priestess is that you're very, very frightened of some of the things that you're sensing, and you don't really want to actually be the filter yourself. You don't actually want to be the high sensory perception being. You would much rather actually be someone who reads about it or talks about it or understands it or studies it. And that's very different from actually living it. Okay? So, in other words, pretend you might be one of these people who has been on a path of spiritual seeking, and then you're realizing, I can't just read about it all day. I just can't go to an endless number of yoga classes or, yoga teacher training classes or healthcare training programs. I actually have to live it. And then it's just like, no, I can't do that, because that means I'd have to face the unknown. I can't do that. I need to have the answers in front of me now, and do it from an academic perspective. Okay, it's not allowed. Okay, over here, let's have a look. Hello, Sarah, I see you. How are you going to deal with this? Because in some ways it looks to me like you're one of these people who's like, you're tapping into your most advanced levels of spirituality, but at the same time you're terrified of what that means. How do you deal with it? Okay, so the Queen of Swords here is kind of a ruthless energy. And it's basically, to me, it feels like it's time, okay? It's time, infinite wellness. There's no point in, I would say, hiding behind an academic, let's say, what's the word? An academic facade, okay? That's not acceptable anymore. The way to handle your life going forward is to put aside any kind of masquerades, any kind of charades that you might be playing with yourself to make it look to the world as though, like, I am infinite wellness. I symbolize infinite wellness. I am a representative of the healing power of love. Whereas in fact, deep at the soul level, it's actually like you're a bit scared of that, a bit scared of actually doing it and being it, because then you actually have to live it. And that's very, very different from talking about it or studying it or reading it. And the Queen of Swords here is basically saying, okay, infinite wellness, it's time. Screw this, it's over. It's time to get into who you really are, make a decision. Are you really going to actually live by example? If you are not going to live by example, if you're not going to live as an actual living example of infinite wellness, then, don't bother, Go off and get another job somewhere or do something else. In other words, like, you have set this up for yourself. You set this situation up for yourself. Like, this is who I am. This is what I wanted. But now you're at this point of critical mass. Like, oh my God, I have to do this right now. And you are being called out. Like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, I have to actually do this. Instead of, in other words, you can't tell people like, I'm studying for this, or I'm going to advance to that, or I'm on the path, I'm not doing this, or whatever. No, you are now being charged. It's almost like you're being commanded to live by example. Basically, divorce yourself from anything and everything that is like a charade, or anything that you might be doing to make it look like you are like living in the full example, the full wellness, the full immersion of like your craft, your chosen path, and actually live it by example rather than maybe teaching it or doing it by the book. I hope that makes sense to you, Infinite Wellness. I really hope so. I don't know how else to explain it. It's really, really hard. This is, to me, Infinite Wellness, this is a really hard reading. To me, it looks like you're at kind of a point of spiritual evolution where you've got some really tough decisions ahead of you. And the fear of the unknown is so strong that you can end up almost paralyzed in fear. Like, what now? What now? What now? What now? But the point is, you kind of have to keep cutting away everything that is not true, everything that is not honorable, anything that is not, let's say, respectable to the identity that you have created for yourself. So that's a very big task, okay? I hope that makes sense. Thank you, Infinite Wellness. Hey, Jeffrey. Wait a minute. I just saw something pop up on the screen. Hey, Sarah, what's going on? Hold on a minute. I got to catch up with going. Thank you, Infinite Wellness. We're going to move on now. Let's put this over here. I just saw something. I saw something yellow come in. Hold on. What is it? Jeffrey. It says F ... Let's do a reading. Okay. All right, Jeffrey, you're up. Okay. Oh gosh, dear Infinite Wellness. Oh my gosh. So we kind of hit on a nerve here. I'm just seeing the chat here on the screen for Infinite Wellness. Hold on, I'm going to check in with you. Stay right there. Oh dear, you poor thing. Hold on. Hello, Infinite Wellness. Yeah, you're in a really difficult position. Let's just be honest, okay? Path is making a note here. There is one of the members, Nikki. She's a professional psychic medium, okay? She might be able to give you a few tips. And also, dear Infinite Wellness, I used to be a consultant many years ago to help professional psychic and mediums, like in the celebrity world, how to cope when they're under pressure. And so I kind of understand it. And it's like, what am I supposed to do now? Decisions. You know, so if you have the gift, like there's another one who comes here, like Fritterly can be very, very tuned in. There's also, Ubastis Purr, okay? Ubastis Purr, she does pet psychic. She's a pet psychic. She can do human psychic medium work, but she doesn't like doing it. So she stays with animals. So for you, Infinite Wellness, if you want to hang back, come in with some other shows, and we'll, over the long term, hang out, and you can make friends with Nikki and a few others, and they might help you in your journey becoming more comfortable with becoming like a psychic medium, okay? Yeah. Yeah, I'm still taking super chats if anybody's interested. I mean, I need to raise as much money as I possibly can right now. So, and if anybody wants a reading, put the $9.99 in the super chat. It all helps. It all adds up. So right now, we're going to go and read for, I think it's Jeffrey's up next, right? Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Hold on. Stay there. Don't go away. I think it was Jeffrey. I saw Jeffrey put in 1111. And this is going to be a really impromptu type of reading. Okay, Jeffrey? This one's for you. I'm going to use the same spread that I always do. It's a tiny little spread, but sometimes it's very... It's kind of like a sniper bullet. It really just kind of goes to the crux of the matter. Okay? So whatever shows up is whatever shows up. All right, cheers. Thank you, Jeffrey. We're going to start in just a second. So you don't have to say anything. You don't have to do anything. Oh, Sarah. Whoa. Okay. Poof. Okay, sure. We can do that. I see your eyes. It's coming up here on the screen as a big, bright orange yellow thing. So we'll get. Actually, let me make a post-it note right now so I don't forget, because I'm really kind of very spaced out at the moment. Sarah V. And we're talking about, I wanted to know about JF. Okay, so I'm just going to put JF up here, and I'm going to put a little heart energy down here. And, we're doing a reading, so it's kind of a question mark anyway. So, Sarah, when we come to doing your reading, it'll basically be whatever you need to know will come to you. Okay? So it's very neutral. Right, Jeffrey, let's have a look. Okay. Let's have a look. Cards are well shuffled, but I'm going to keep shuffling because I need more. I need things to be very clear. Very, very clear right now. Yeah, we're heading into this full moon energy. As far as I'm concerned here as Tarot Lumination, when I see the Pisces Virgo axis that's being lit up right now, And I see that in very, very strong, luscious aspects with the pile of Capricorn energy. We've got Saturn, Pluto, Jupiter, and Mars all in Capricorn. To me, this is a very rich, full moon about, like, it's almost like coming to terms, like really deep reality checks for each one of us on the global scale, on the global collective, but also on the individual scale, where everybody starts to become aware in a very perhaps awkward, embarrassing, uncomfortable way, where we start to recognize in very subtle ways, like discovering things through archaeology, we discover the hidden enemies. We discover the hidden enemy within ourselves. And then the Virgo practicality is like, okay, now that we're becoming aware of this, what are we going to do about it? So the thing is, think of it exactly on a global scale. We have the humongous pressure from Capricorn energy, serious reality check police, okay, people? And then the very subtle, very, very hard energy to understand of all that Pisces stuff. The beauty, the wonder of Pisces and being connected to the great beyond, infinite love, and we are all one. And that's beautiful. But at the same time, what happens when you dissolve all the boundaries between humanity and humanity? You end up, we become our most toxic enemies, ourselves to ourselves. We don't necessarily mean that to happen in a very overt way. No one is trying to kill each other on a mass scale right now in an obvious way. But when humanity lives in the way it's living right now, with an extreme disregard for the boundaries and the fences and the protections that come with a very healthy way of living, guess what? We create a cesspool. We create an environment that is perfect for mass like infection. And that's what we have right now. And the same thing happens at the individual level. You think you're doing the best thing, but at the same time, we're doing things that are actually setting ourselves up for like a very, very subtle, crippling form of self-destruction, because we're trying to take advantage. It's almost like it's trying to... Oh, I see you, Path. Good night. Take care. Thank you so much. Like, everybody always wants to be winning all the time. But the point is, humanity needs to take a break. We need time to heal. We need time to, to take the pressure off humanity to just gorge on itself. And we're not doing that. You can see that, what's happening in global politics. Okay? Anyway, so the same thing happens on an individual level. Yes, Jeffrey, if you want to. I just saw your note there. If you want to put something in the screen, if you've got something like a couple of words like, romance or location or health or whatever it is, just type it in on the screen. I'm still here. Hey, Tina, I see you. Hi, Tina. What's going on? I just clicked. Sorry. So we're going to read for Jeffrey now, and then we're going to read for Sarah. Okay? I'm just going to hang here for a little bit, Jeffrey, in case you want to put a couple of words. You want to know about HH. Okay, let's keep it very, very simple, okay? Let's keep it as a very, very, very... what's the word I'm looking for? It's not confidential because we're doing this in a very public setting, but let's say this is very, very pure, okay? We're going to do this in a very, very kind of pure way, unambiguous. There's no expectations. We're not going to try and feed you the things that you want to hear. I'm not going to try and soften things up so that it sounds good for you. We're just going to look at the story as it unfolds, okay? No problem. You don't have to say anything else. Thanks, Jeffrey. That's fine. I don't have to do a love or relationship spread or anything. We're just going to use the same old situational spread. Okay, here we go. Let's have a look. Okay, I'm already feeling something, Jeffrey, but I'm not going to talk about it until I've actually done the reading. Here's the situation. Here's the challenges. And here's how we're going to handle it. And we're surrounded by this kind of energy. Let's have a look. Okay, the Queen of Swords. Okay, so don't be too scared of this. Some people see this as the divorce card. Some people see this as the card of separation, a card of like ruthless disregard for other people's feelings. So my feeling is that, okay, I'm just going to tell you what I'm sensing here before I even got into the reading. What I'm sensing here is that this is the energy that is surrounding you, surrounding the relationship regarding HH and you. And I'm just going to tell you, okay, Jeffrey, I'm just going to tell you. This is the moment we dug into it, I felt the energy of, like, pretend I'm HH, okay? Pretend I'm HH. And HH is basically saying, you know, Jeffrey, I love you, but. Okay? Now, we're going to look at that over here. And there's a very big difference. Like when somebody says, I love you. And then somebody says, I love you, but as soon as you put the word but, it's like, that means there's conditions. In other words, and I'm asking you not to take this personally, but if HH is relating to you in such a way that there are certain conditions or expectations or outcomes that are being overlaid on top of the relationship, on top of the love, in order for the love to be qualified as a love, then there's only so far you can go with that. It is perfectly possible to love and be loved up to a certain point. But when we're calling it out like this, and there's no barriers here. We're going completely without any kind of limitations here. And I have to tell you, this is going to sound strange, but I really felt a presence here. And it was a very loving, very neutral, very calm, heartfelt energy. And it said to me very clearly, Jeffrey, I love you, but. Okay? So let's dig in a little bit. What's the situation? Okay. So with the King of Swords energy, my feeling is that there's a bit of an issue of like a power, like a balance of power thing going on here, where in order to be functional and healthy, it's like a lot of times what happens in a relationship, in order to be able to get along in a fairly comfortable, easy way, people compromise and they say, okay, well, you're going to be the boss, you're going to be the dominant one, and I'm going to be just kind of like go along with it. And so you create a status quo where there is a deliberately accepted and chosen imbalance of power in order to sustain a relationship. And when you have a situation where somebody says, I love you, or you say to them, I love you, but there's no condition. You don't say, I love you, but, maybe we, or she says to you, like, I love you, Jeffrey, but, maybe, no. When it's, I love you, and that's an unconditional thing. That means I love you, even with all your zits, your deformities, your impoverishment, your poor behavior, your family, your dysfunctions, all your habits that I don't like. I still love you. That's very, very different from saying I love you, but. So, with the King of Swords here energy, my feeling is that it's like you're in a position where you are not really where you want to be. Like, I wish I didn't have to maintain these kind of standards for myself and other people in love and relationships. But if I am Jeffrey and I refuse to operate in a very mediocre, compromising kind of manner when it comes to love and relationships, I cannot live in my own self-respect. I cannot do that. I will not do that. I refuse to live in those kind of conditions. Like, if I'm going to love someone, I want to be in a position where I can feel in my full integrity, honesty, personhood, sovereignty of self. Like, when I say I love you, I mean I love you. I love you. It doesn't mean I love you, but, maybe if we could, no. And so it's a question of honor. It's a question of dignity here. Like, it might be that you've kind of, whether you like it or know it or not, you have set very high standards for yourself, which you are not willing to compromise. And that, sadly, it can make it very limiting to have something equal and matching coming to you, where they love you, and they love you anyway, with all your faults, with all your quirks, with all your limitations, whatever that might be. So it's a bit difficult. This is actually really difficult. So what's the problem with all of this? Okay, with to me it feels like the problem is that there's a strong drive to want to be together anyway. In other words, you might be very attracted to this person, and they might still be attracted to you in the form of man and woman, man and person, person to person, in such a way that, it's almost like the problem is that how do you control your natural desires? The natural desire that you have to be with them and that they might have to be with you. And then when you get to that point where you are meeting with them and they are meeting with you, you reach this point of awareness like, oh wow, I'm really attracted to you. Oh wow, I'm really attracted to you. Let's do this thing. Let's do this mingling thing. Oh yeah. And then all of a sudden you realize, oh, wait a minute. And they're calling it out like, yeah, like pretend this hand is the other person. Like, oh, this is so amazing. This is so delicious, so satisfying and everything. And I really love you. I really love you, but and that puts like a real damper on things, because you might have been coming into this with like a full commitment, a full heart, a full open, sharing of yourself with another person, and the other person sharing with you, and then you realize, oh my God, it's like it's like the worst case scenario. Like it's almost like I really love you. I like being with you. I like doing stuff with you. I want to hang out with you. I'd really love this to work. But there's something that is not happening, not working from their perspective. And it doesn't matter what you do. Like, it's very clear here that it is not appropriate for you to dumb yourself down to accommodate them. That's not going to work. You know that, and they know that. And so you end up in this situation where if you're setting yourself up with high standards, high levels of protocols about like what love is, how to do it, and they've got their own version of their own standards of how love should be and how to do it, and you've already had a kind of like this, person-to-person encounter where like the hormones are stimulated, physical attraction is stimulated, the desire for a warm body is stimulated, the desire to be a couple or have a relationship or happiness is stimulated, and it's very physical and live and real. But that is the backdrop where the problem is happening. That becomes a real problem. Okay, let's have a look. How are we going to deal with this? The wheel. Okay, with the Wheel of Fortune here, my feeling is to treat the whole thing as a life experience. In other words, if you feel, Jeffrey, that you are being disrespected or very, very subtly disavowed, or you're sensing that someone that you love or someone who loves you has changed into the point where I love you, but then it's time to basically kind of go into a very serene kind of state of acceptance. Well, okay, like this is how it is. Thank you very much. I have to go to the other camera to do this. Hold on. Jeffrey, for me to try and convey this, my feeling is like it's a question about being very, very honorable to yourself and to the other person. HH. It's just like, okay, if this is how it is, then this is how it is. Okay? It is the journey. In other words, think of it as a very fateful thing, like the Wheel of Fortune, like, things happen, things are great, things fall apart. Cool things happen, shit happens. And it's the wheel of life. It goes on. And you don't allow yourself to be sucked into things like retaliation or expectation or trying to fix things that are not fixable. In other words, it's a very, very gracious energy of like, I accept this. I accept the truth that this is how it is. I can still love you. I can still maintain my integrity, my honor. And I respect you. If you don't love me and if you have expressed or felt love towards me, but that is no longer true or acceptable for you, then so be it. That is how it is. And you don't come back and try to fix it like, oh, wait a minute, like, you can't leave me, or like, I thought you loved me. No. You just accept the facts. This is how it is. These are the truth. Actions speak louder than words. Sometimes actions are very subtle, very, very hidden, but they're still actions, okay? And they are more powerful than the words. Like someone can say, oh, I love you. But if your body is sensing like, oh, I love you, but, and that's not acceptable, then it's not acceptable. Very, very graciously, it's like, I love you too. We have loved each other. I love you. You love me. We have loved each other. You have loved me. But we've got to the point where for you, dear HH, all I can hear is, I love you, but that's okay. You don't even have to explain it. That's just how it is. And then you kind of surrender, you release to the truth, and you allow the Wheel of Fortune to move on. You're a young guy, so you can allow yourself to live on and move on, and something else happens. You open yourself like, please, dear universe, bring me the next thing that I need to know regarding love. And just let that happen. And give me the strength and the courage to let go and move on. And when I hear the words, I love you, but, you're kind of dealing with a non-starter, okay? At least you tried. At least you put everything in, like high degrees of honor and respect, okay? All right, that's your reading. Thank you very much, Jeffrey. I got to move on. All right, here we are. Let's have a look. Hey, Queen of Water, I see you. Hello, All Sun, I see you. Hey, Queen of Water is here. I just saw you. And now we're going to move to Sarah. I've got a reading now for Sarah. I can't remember. Oh, yes. Sarah wants to have a similar type of reading. I'm not going to do a relationship reading because those are kind of bigger and they take up, a fair bit more time. So we're just going to go back to the raw, classic situational spread, okay? All right, Sarah. So I'd said in your notes here, what's going on between you and JF regarding matters of the heart, okay? So it's like a diagnostics. It's just like another simple tarot illumination reading, diagnostics, but it's personal, okay? Hello, Ivona, I see you. Let's have a look, see what's going on. I'm going to shuffle this up a little bit. I want a nice, crispy, clean, new deck for you, Sarah. It's already very late at night for some of you, I understand that. So if you gotta go, you gotta go. But meanwhile, if you're still here, welcome. Thank you very much. I'm just going to let everybody know there's a few people here. The chances are we're going to be able to get back into the groove of the Sunday night lives for the next few months. We'll see. Okay? So in case you don't get your notifications, you might want to check in on Sunday evening. Oh gosh, you know what, Sarah? I'm feeling something as well. I'm feeling something from JF. Part of me feels that JF is a little bit shy, and being called out like this is a little bit awkward and uncomfortable for that person. And it's not that they're going to obstruct anything here. It's just that my feeling is that they're not very comfortable with dealing with things in such a very pure, impersonal way that we're doing here right now. On the other hand, I do feel something very gentle, something very kind of like kind, gentle, kind of a friendliness from JF. Like, okay, here's Sarah. This is going to look really strange. Hold on, bear with me. Okay, you have to pretend I'm JF, okay? Here's what I felt. As soon as I started shuffling and I put your post-it note down, I felt as though JF had come inside of me, and it was just like, what's going on? What is this? Like, oh no, oh my God. What's Sarah doing? Like, oh my God, no. Oh, God, this is like, oh, I can't do this. Like, what? And but it wasn't anything bad. It was just like, oh my gosh, what's going on here? Because what I felt is like we just had a spontaneous connection at the soul level, and JF was kind of caught off guard. It's like when you're walking down the street, there's somebody you know, and you tap them on the shoulder, and they kind of go, "Hey, how you doing?" And they kind of go like, "Oh, wow, I didn't expect to see you." That's kind of what I'm feeling here. It's very neutral. It's just that it feels like JF is doesn't quite know what to do in the situation. So don't worry, we're going to keep going anyway, all right? Okay, let's have a look. All right, Sarah, this is for you. I'm feeling a lot of stuff here, Sarah, but some of it I don't really want to divulge in public, so I'm just kind of keeping it really a bit muted, and so I hope you don't mind. Oh gosh. Okay, I felt another thing. I just felt another thing coming in, which is neutral enough where I can say it. And it was like the person, JF, is saying, okay, well, if we're going to do this, let's just do it. Let's just see what happens. Because it feels to me like JF is just as interested in this reading as you are. Okay? If that makes any sense. So weird what happens on this channel sometimes. It's completely like, stuff comes in from anywhere, everywhere. And it all happens according to like the will of heaven. That's how I look at it. What I need to know comes to me. Whatever I do not need to know moves away. Cards are shuffled. And we're just going to make it very simple, classic, pure three-way cut, very even. And we're going to look at this, okay? Here's the situation. Here's the challenges. Here's how we're going to handle it. And let's have a look at the situation itself. And like the aspects that are surrounding the situation, okay? Prince of Pentacles. Wow, that's nice. Okay, my feeling here with the JF is that we're dealing with a little bit of romantic innocence. There's a part of JF where like the condition of the relationship is such that there's it's like there's a loving intention, okay? And it's very sweet, it's very, very pure, but there's also quite a high degree of innocence and uncertainty about like what to do and how to do this, like in a very, very, like, what does this mean for the big picture? To me, it feels like you, Sarah, are surrounded by the energy of relationship dynamics, which include JF, who is radiating an energy of like, I actually mean very well. And it's like my only intention is to be, it's almost, what's the word? My actions have to speak for me. Okay, actions speak louder than words. That's what I'm sensing here. And let me depersonalize this. So it's not about you, it's not about JF, but it's more about the feelings that are going on here. And to me, this is a message that you, Sarah, also need to pay very close attention to the actions. Okay? In this situation, actions speak louder than words. The Prince of Pentacles, it's a very clear, defined energy. What really counts, Sarah, for you is someone, for example, let's say it's JF, someone who walks the talk. Like if they say they love you, are they acting and behaving in a way that indicates they love you? When we're looking at the pentacles here in a love situation, the things that you would need to look for are the things that really count, that are being brought to you, presented to you in terms of demonstration and behavior. For example, respect, kindness, honesty, patience, consideration, good listening, quality time, the ability to handle difficult, challenging situations. All of these things, those are very definite markers that need to be present in a really genuine, loving, healthy relationship. So what I'm sensing here is, in a very, very gentle way, please be aware, Sarah, don't worry so much about what they say or what they're texting or writing or how they're presenting themselves to you, with hey, it's so good to see you, whatever it is. Take your time, allow things to simmer, allow them to show their true colors over time by letting their actions speak. Okay? The actions speak louder than words. And I don't want to repeat the list of things that are very, very valuable. The things that are really valuable in love and relationship, those are the things that you want. Like, if they're coming at you with, oh, I love this, but their actions demonstrate something else, then you have a problem. What's the situation? Okay, with the Nine of Cups, my feeling is that you're coming from a position of being happy already on the inside. And why would you want to mess with that? Why would you want to allow your own happiness and contentment to be put at risk by relating with someone who is not walking the talk? In other words, where someone whose actions do not speak, their actions do not demonstrate their words. So my feeling is that you're coming in here you're perfectly capable of loving and being loved. And it's you have that already. You already own your own happiness inside of you. And so in order for you to share love with another person, and for another person to share love with you, they would have to respect you and understand you, that you have a right to be happy anyway. You have a right to be happy inside of yourself, regardless of whether they are there or not. So in other words, if they're going to be there, if they want to be with you, it's almost like they have to be, it's almost like they have to radiate the same kind of vibe, kind of aura themselves as you. To me, this is your reading. It's all about you. And this looks to me like you're very confident in yourself and who you are and how you are and the way you are when it comes to love, and you're being very, very gracious, and it would be very healthy for you to just stay kind of neutral and let them show their true colors. Allow them to prove through their actions that they have the capacity to love in the way that you have the capacity to love. For example, if this is actually almost like some people think of this as a wish card, like the dream come true scenario, let them prove it. Give yourself some time, because one of the most satisfying things in love and relationship is to be with someone who truly loves themselves, and they're not willing to compromise or dumb themselves down to accommodate you. And then that becomes a very respectful situation, and everything is done in a very mature, kind of timely manner, where over extended periods of time, the actions prove louder than the words. And certainly, lust is not the key factor here. What's the challenge with this? Okay. Okay, my first feeling here was gosh, Sarah, it's almost like, am I beautiful enough? Am I gorgeous enough? Am I desirable enough? Am I a good enough catch for this person, this JF? And that's the energy of extreme self-doubt. And that's perfectly understandable, because when we meet someone who might be like an equal, where you might be really good for them and they might be really good for you. It's very natural for you, the individual, to go through periods where you might experience extreme self-doubt, like, oh my God, like I'm too short, I'm too tall, I'm too fat, I'm too thin, I'm the wrong culture, I'm the wrong religion. Oh no, oh no, oh no. I don't have all those luscious, amazing, desirable qualities that every person would want from me, the woman in a relationship. That, again, that's perfectly natural. To me, this is extreme self-doubt about, I mean, this is not something that you would ever share or admit or show to anybody, but there's a part of you which has extreme self-doubt at a very, very deep core level, whether you are really worthy or not of such a potentially good relationship. And so, in other words, you have the ability to contaminate your own relationship if you succumb to the fear that you might not be awesome enough. Okay, I hope that makes sense. So how are we going to deal with this? Okay, with the Hanged Man here, my feeling is that you're going to have to go through a period of time where you're not really going to know, like, the answers. You're not going to know really how he truly feels about you, and you're not going to really know how you truly feel about them, except by living through like a period of time where you literally have to allow them to show their true colors, their intentions, their actions. And that usually takes time, and it takes patience and commitment. And the thing is, with the Hangman here, that could be a very disorienting feeling for you. Like, well, like if he loves me and I love them, they love me, I love them, everything should happen right now. We should just reach the end of the movie right now and everybody lives happily ever after. But that's not what's happening here. I think what's happening here is like we're going deep, we're diving in, digging deep, and you're being exposed to your own worst fears about yourself, because you might be attracted to someone and someone might be attracted to you who's actually kind of good. You might be really good for them and they might be really good for you. And one of the things that happens in a genuinely loving relationship, it really exposes you to the worst parts of yourself and exposes them to the worst parts of themselves. And then what are you going to do about it? And that can be really trippy and disorienting. So what I'm suggesting here with the Hanged Man is, for the foreseeable future, allow yourself to not have any answers. Allow yourself to just sit back, live in your fear, own the fear, live in your love, own your love. Understand that you know deep down you are desirable, that you are worthy, you are deserving, you are ready, willing, and able to receive love. But there is the aspect of extreme self-doubt. You don't stop the process. You allow yourself to go through what I would consider like a really disorienting process. It's time. I don't know how long it's going to take, but it requires time for you to let them show themselves who they really are through their actions, okay? And that might be disorienting for you, because you might want to know it through words like, I wish they could just like propose to me now, or let's get engaged now, or let's get pregnant now, or let's move in together now, let's do something now. But for this to actually work and be any viable, you need to know in a very, very workable sense what is viable here. And so that puts you in a position where you're going to have to, like, what's that expression? Have you ever heard that? Like, the way to go forward is learn how to be comfortable with being very uncomfortable about this question. Because the only way the answer is going to be revealed to you is through time and through their expression through actions. Not words, through action. Okay? So that's tough. That's tough. It's going to be hard to do, Sarah. but I think it's really important to do that. And do it in a very feminine way. This is a very powerful feminine card. You can, in other words, give yourself permission to be the woman. Let them show themselves. Let them prove to you that they are worthy of you. Okay? I hope that makes sense. All right. Thank you very much, Sarah. Okay, I just felt another thing, and this is going to sound very strange, Sarah, because I don't know JF at all, but what I sensed here is like this serious, like, it's as though JF was actually here with the reading with us, and what I felt is just like, as if JF was right there watching everything, going through everything with us, and it's just like, he's like, oh my God, holy shit. Oh, oh, and like, am I up for this? Like, gulp. Like, this is really, really freaking old school. This is going back to, like, you know, really, really old school stuff. You, Sarah, are the woman. Okay? And it's up to them to come to you and show their love through action. Okay, so that really puts JF on the spot. In other words, he can't seduce you with like, oh, I'm so cool, or I'm so rich, or I'm so handsome, or whatever. No, it's the actions that count, and it's the raw material. Respect, consideration, kindness, patience, quality time, all those things we talked about. So I felt it very strong here, as though he was literally right here watching everything, and he was like, oh, whoa. Okay? So anyway, that's your reading. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Sarah, okay? Oh God, wow. All right, have I missed anybody? Is that the end of the show? Let's have a look. Let's see. Thank you very much, Sarah. Hey, Karen Clark, over there in New Zealand. Greetings. So it must be, let's see, like 4 or 5 o'clock in the evening for you on Monday. Monday evening for Karen Clark. Thank you, Sarah. It was a real pleasure. I really, really that was juicy. I really felt like we really got into it, and I was really pleased to feel that JF was participating. Yeah. Okay. Hold on, Queen of Water. Did I say hello to you, Queen of Water? Hello, hello, hello. Wait a minute. Who's Looky Lou? Who's that? I saw somebody else. Looky Lou. Who's Looky Lou? Looky Lou, are you still there? Okay. Hello, Ivona. I see you. Hello, hello, hello. Oh, yeah. I am the key. Who's that? I am the key. It says here, I am the key. How do I get a mini reading? Okay, so you put $10 in the super chat. That's how you get a mini reading. Okay, so let me keep going here. I want to check in with everybody. Let's have a break. Okay. I'm going to take a little mini break here. I'll just put on another Terra Lumination song. And I'm going to put on a song called, let's have a look. I've got to think about this. I'm going to play a song called Wonder Ride. It's kind of a romantic thing. It's about like when people are in love and they really feel it. It's like when you're at a fairground and it's like this magical feeling, like you're on a magic carpet ride. Okay, it's called Wonder Ride. Here we go. I'm going to play this, so give me a chance. I'm going to have a little bit of a break and then we'll pick up and carry on. Okay. It sounds like this. Where's the actual music? I hope this works. Let me see if I can do this. Try this one.
Okay, we are rolling. So, This is a birthday present for my sweetheart. Just wanted to share this. Okay, here we go. It's called Wonder Ride. My dear, this is my birthday present to you, to celebrate the day that heaven made you. It's remarkable that we both found one another. The day we set out on our transformational ride with each other at each other's side, it soon became evident that we are both changing. And it's such a wonder ride, my dear. Yes, it's such a wonder ride. Hold on tight, tightly, my dear. And now that our journey, it starts to unfold in a multi-dimensional world of untold delights that truly defy the imagination. You've naturally taken it up on yourself to document all of the nuances that go to make up a story of extraordinary proportions. And it's such a wonder ride, my dear. Yes, it's such a wonder ride. Hold on tight, tightly, my dear. It's such a wonder ride, my dear. Yes, it's such a wonder ride. Hold on tight, tightly, my dear.
Wow, we did that. Hello, I see you, Gabby girl. Yes, Terra Lumination is still here. We had a very strange evening because there was a point where I didn't think that anybody was getting notifications. We only had about 2 or 3 people for the first, couple of hours. And then, some people showed up. It was kind of cool. We actually had a bunch of newbies as well, and I did 2 free readings for a couple of newbies. It was a lot of fun. A lot of fun. Yay. Hi, Gabby girl. Karen Clark is over there in New Zealand. It's late afternoon in New Zealand. Thank you, Sarah. I hope you enjoyed that. I have to tell you, Sarah, that was kind of a little bit above and beyond, over the top as readings go. I don't often get participation from the other people and things. When that happens, it usually happens in private readings. When people pay, big money for personal readings, it's more likely for that to happen. But it happened here today. I really felt there was a certain energy of JF here. Okay? So I feel it was my job to share that, okay? Thank you, all son. You rock too, man. We're very different people, I bet, Okay. Nikki was here earlier, by the way. Yeah, Nikki was here. And I think it was Infinite Wellness or one of the other newbies. they realize that they're starting to become psychic and they can't help it. And they're wondering what to do now. Like, holy shit, I'm turning into a freaking psychic medium. Oh no, I really want to do this. But, like, if I do this, how am I going to do it? Because, I have a day job. And how am I going to take care of myself as a psychic medium? You know, it's like that. It's a terrible puzzle, awful thing to happen. Poor thing. So Nikki, if you get contacted by, I think it was one of the newbies, I can't remember. I think it was either, I can't remember who it was. Who was that? I don't know. I can't remember, but it was one of them. They have this, like, creeping, like, growing awareness that they're starting to become a psychic medium. Oh, no. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah, so let's have a look. Gabby just showed up. Alson is just showed up. Nikki was here earlier. Frittily came in earlier. Oh, let me look. Hold on. I'm just checking the chat here. Oh yeah. Okay. So I think we're kind of all caught up here. Okay, Gabby's going to get her wine. She's going to be right back. And so I don't see anyone else showing up with super chats or anything like that. So we might as well just hang out. If anybody wants a reading, just do the super chat, throw the money in the pot. If you're a complete newbie and you've never done this before, that's what you do. That's how you do it. You go, there's a little place where you type in, hello. I'm so-and-so, so-and-so, so-and-so. I want a reading. You do the super chat. I will take one more if anyone's interested. Otherwise, we'll just hang out and have a few beverages and call it a night. Hope you don't mind. Queen of Water's going to go get a snack. Okay. I'm already here. Yeah. Cheers. I mean, I would, get some potato chips or something, or little Doritos or something like that, but they really kind of, they get so messed up, it's very hard to actually run a YouTube channel when you're eating snacks. So I don't do it. But this is okay. This is cool. This is what we do. This is how we roll. Right. Yeah. Oh, just in that little last break there, when I heard that little song, that Wonder Ride song, I kept feeling to myself, my God, I wish I had like really good connections again in the music industry and like really cool musicians, because I'd love to start a band and do like really old, do it the old-fashioned way. I love the computers, I love the recording studios, I love the technology, it's mind-boggling, but it is not a substitute for actually having a drummer, a keyboard player, a bass player, a guitar player, and like 3 backup singers, and some other instruments to fill it out. There's no substitute. There is no substitute. I'm sorry. And I'm a little bit old school in those ways. Oh, Queen of Water wants to do a musical. Yeah. Oh. Yeah. Yeah. We've done it a few times already. We have our little Terra Lumination virtual bands. Like, remember a few years ago when the channel first started and we had our little digital online campfires and we were going to build a retreat somewhere amazing? Hold on, something just came in from Nikki. Okay, so I'm going to take a little break. I'm going to follow Nikki's notes here. Give me a second. I got to do this. I'm a professional. This is how we do things on a really professional YouTube channel. So for that to happen, I'm going to give myself an extended break. No, I'm going to have a little short break. I'm going to play a little Terra Lumination song. And I want something sweet. I just want something really sweet and like short and mellow. I'm not even going to play a song. I'm just going to play some music, okay? I hope you don't mind just plain old music while I go check Nikki's stuff. Hold on, stay there. Give me a second. Hang in, everybody.
Doctors pills he gave me, they
All right, so we're going to read for Nikki right now. Give me a second. We're going to just get tuned in here. No problem. Let's have a look. So, give me a second. I'm going to check back in with everybody. Oh, so the show is still going. We've been here for quite a while. And it was a very weird, bumpy start. I just, by the way, while I was taking a break there, getting set up for the next reading, I got a note from some of you know already, Gregory. And it was like, hey, welcome back to our Lumination. So I said, yeah, it's cool. I just said, hey, we're live right now. We're going to do a reading for Nikki. So it's all happening. Like, it's all happening right now. This is actually happening. I mean, it's just, I know it's tiny, you know, but like there's Gabby in Chicago, there's Fridley on the East Coast, Nikki's on the East Coast, Taylor's down in Florida, Karen's over there in New Zealand, Queen of Water's over there in Australia, and you know it's just freaking awesome. Path is over there in Kentucky. I think she had to go to bed already, and Sarah, anyway, okay, I'm sorry, I'm stuttering, okay? So right now, brace yourselves, everybody. We're going to be doing a reading for Nikki, and we're going to see where this goes, okay? We're going to do the same thing, just use a Tarot Illumination situational spread, and we're going to tease out the deep inner meaning of what's actually going on here. It's like we're going to go very, it's like doing archaeology. This is the way I look at it for this reading. I feel as though we're going to do a very delicate archaeological dig. Like, you know, be very gentle, you know. Let's go. Because sometimes, like when you're doing spiritual archaeology, you have to be very gentle. Because what you're actually dealing with is the process of revealing it to heal it. And what happens with humanity is that we tend to bury the things that need healing. And the more they need healing, the more deeply they are buried, and the more likely it is that we will discover pain in the current when we do the revelations for the healing. So we have to be very gentle when we do this. You can't just take like a hammer or a sledgehammer or one of those like jackhammers and kind of go like, hey, I know there's a problem here, let's just dig in. We can't do that, okay? We have to be very kind of like, you know, brush things like they do on those archaeology, you know, nature videos, okay? So here, let's have a look. See what's see what's going on. All right, so we're going to read for Nikki. Let's see what's happening here. Cards are actually well shuffled because I was doing some shuffling in the background, but I want to go to the last second so that you're witness. Obviously, you know, we've done this before many times. No big deal. By the way, I want to say thank you to everybody who put money into the pot. Sometimes I forget, but it's really important. I know that there's, you know, I'm one of these people, I'm very aware of the financial aspects of spirituality and how it can be really easily distorted and perverted and, let's say, exploited. And I happen to have a channel, I happen to be one of those people who does this stuff with YouTube and outside of YouTube where I can't fake it, okay? It's like I have a contract with heaven. Like, I can't fake this shit. I'm not here just to try and set up a cult or make, you know, hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars by, you know, becoming some kind of like, you know, I don't know, online, whatever, guru thing. That stuff is, it's very dangerous when you start playing with those kind of energies. And I've seen what happens when people do that. So basically, I'm not allowed, and so I don't. So Tarot Illumination works within the parameters of what works, okay? And so this is how it is for right now. At this very, very moment in time, this is how it is. We have the tiny, tiny, beautiful little channel. We have a few people who get their notifications, and whoever needs to be here will find it. And that's fine. And that's exactly what happened tonight. And I'm glad I was reminded. I can't remember who said that, but they told me, like, don't worry, Tarot Illumination. The people who need to be here will find your channel. They will be here, and you will get your dues. And so that's exactly what's happening. It's very beautiful. I feel very, very fortunate, very blessed at this moment in time. And I feel like I really get, I mean, this is going to sound a little bit like vanity here, but I really get my chance to shine. I don't have a chance all the time because, like, the parameters are so tight. They're so, so narrow to do things the way that we do them. Like, you know, to keep the level of authenticity and the levels of integrity mean that the nozzle where this all happens, like, you know, think of it as a thing. It's like, it's very tight. It's very narrow. And that puts a lot of pressure on me. In other words, I'm not allowed to cheat. Let's put it that way. So I don't. Now let's have a look, Nikki. What's going on? I know you're concerned. I know you're very concerned about things. So we'll deal with that. Don't you worry. Don't you worry. I know you've got this thing you need to take care of and you want to get some feedback. So let's do that. I'm going to keep it very, very classic. Okay? We're going to do this by the book. Here's the situation. Here's the challenges. Here's how we're going to handle it. Okay? And what's the situation surrounding this? Okay, Three of Cups. So with the Three of Cups here, my feeling is that there's there's this energy of sharing that's going on, celebration, and like the feeling of what it's like to love and be loved and to celebrate and to enjoy that. But there's also the implications of this, the Three of Cups. What does that really, really mean? Okay, what does it really mean when you operate, when, like, these are the conditions around the problem right now, and like, it would be really appropriate to be very loving, to celebrate love, to be loving and be loved in a very, very pure, simple way. On the other hand, for that to actually happen is, it's like being called out. Like, are you willing to be public? Are you willing to be open? Are you willing to share openly in a very, very pure way that is non-judgmental, no expectations, no requirements, no limitations, just purely for the love of sharing yourself with another? That's it. Just that's it. It's almost in some ways it feels very platonic here. Like, we're talking about the energy of just literally the energy that you feel when you share love. You share love with another, and another love shares love with you. It's almost like, can you handle that? Because there are so many other interpretations of love and celebrating and enjoying love that come with, let's say, certain conditions, okay? So as beautiful as that Three of Cups is, in some ways there's a very big challenge that comes with it. It's almost like, can you handle the simplicity and the purity of what this is? In other words, can you handle, like, Can you handle the idea of just simply loving and being loved, and for what it is, the way it is, and how it is, and just celebrate that alone? Okay, let's have a look. What's the situation? The Hierophant. Okay, so to me it feels like it's almost like there's a desire to create a certain preordained structure and modality and a contract, a way of like doing things in the old-fashioned way. Like, okay, well, you know, if we're gonna do this, it has to be done in the classical way. We're gonna do, like, in some ways this is a very patriarchal energy because it is the Hierophant, and that is typically a male masculine energy. It's like the energy of the Pope, the energy of religious leaders. It's the energy of the Ayatollahs, the Buddhas, of the what's his name from Tibet, all of that stuff. And like it or not, most of these like symbolic religious leader types happen to be masculine, and then the masculine energy feels like it has to impose its interpretation about how love actually has to work according to the definitions of how I want them to work, how I want it to be. Like, it's supposed to be this way, this way, this way, and this way. And it is ordained that way and that way, that way. And I'm like, I already know this, and this is just how it's supposed to be. And so, in like, as beautiful as this energy is, it's actually a little bit of a compression. It feels like it's a little bit of like, are we going to do this or not? Are we going to get... is there a marriage ceremony going on here? Is there a formalized... Is there going to be some kind of formal, very serious expression here? And are we going to do this by the book, according to, like, I would call it a patriarchal structure? Okay? Let's have a look. What's the challenges here? Okay, so with the Ace of Wands, there is a very strong energy of like seeing the possibilities of divine opportunity, divine inspiration, the chance for rebirth, the chance for like vigor, the opportunity to spark new life, spark new beginnings, to tune into the passions, to tune into the like almost like the lust for life. And yet, because this is in such a challenging position, it could mean like the stifling of the raw energy. And it's almost like, to me it feels like there's a lot of masculine energy here, which is seeking expression. Doesn't matter who you are, Nikki, or how you are, why you are the way you are, but I see masculine energy being expressed here, in that it would love to have things happen in a very classic, satisfying way that would look like a formal relationship where the passion is able to be expressed, and yet at the same time it's almost like that's not what it's really about. It's really much more about like why can't I just celebrate the love for what it is? Why can't I just simply, why can't I love you? Why can't you love me? Why can't we just celebrate loving each other? Because there's a lot of love here. There is a lot of love. and it needs to be tapped into. It's there, it's fully available, but it seems like it's being overlaid with a certain degree of expectation that has to work out in a certain way that satisfies a certain agenda. Like Nikki, you're a very strong person. Like if you have like a certain idea that it should be this way, in the way that a masculine energy would want to express itself, it's okay. Nikki is female, by the way, everybody. So women have strong urges, just like men have strong urges. And it needs to be acknowledged. But the question is that appropriate? Is that relevant for the long term? Does that qualify as like the ultimate reason for creating a contract, a binding relationship contract in some way? How are we going to deal with this? Let's have a look. Okay. So to me it looks like we're going around in a complete circle. A complete circle of love in the purest sense. The only way to handle this situation, Nikki, is to understand that it's ultimately at its core, ultimately at its essence, it's about love. But we're talking about love in the purest sense, where it's really about two souls enjoying each other. Your soul with another soul, and celebrating that. This is a very powerful love card here. And to me it feels like the way to go forward is to tap into the sweetness, the innocence, the purity, the naivety, the type of energy and relationship and love dynamics that are not motivated by hormones or patriarchal formulas, okay? And just get back to the purity, the simplicity. Very, very pure, very, very simple. And that's what to do. But like this feels like it's very much at odds with this, because this looks like it's a very determined energy, and there's also a realization that in some ways this is not appropriate. On the other hand, it would be like so cool, like if everything just worked out and everything was just like some big like love fest, and it was all acted out in a very, let's say, in a way that works out for the masculine component of the self, even though you're female, even though you are a female. We're talking about the masculine energy here. And so the way to handle it is, let's go back to the absolute basics. What is it in you, Nikki, that brings you into a situation of loving dynamic energies where you celebrate a certain energy and it can be enjoyed at the level of love, just literally just enjoying loving and being loved? And this looks like it's like this gets in the way of it. The way is like somehow very, 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 very delicately, very, very gently, it means having to come full circle and coming back to this like something very beautiful and innocent and sweet. And to get back there. But to get from here all the way back to here means having to deal with this energy here, which I think is very much to do with the traditional way that masculine energy expects things to pan out. Okay? Which might be a little bit contradictory to this and this. So I hope that makes sense to you, Nikki. I hope that kind of like you connect with that in some way. It might be a little hard because, you know, we're tapping into like the full spectrum humanity here, like the masculine side of a woman and the feminine side of a man. And then how do you combine all that and get back to what really, really works? Anyway, I hope you'll figure it out. I hope you get something out of it, Nikki, and it makes sense to you. This is the way to handle it. pure, pure, pure and simple. It's almost like, because this is so much about relationship, and this is so much about celebrating love and joy in relationship dynamics. To me, it feels like it's almost like it's more satisfying to be able to go for a walk in the park hand in hand than it is to have like your typical definition of a relationship. This is very beautiful. This is very almost platonic. It can still be very passionate, but in a very pure way, okay? So I hope that makes sense to you, Nikki. I hope that makes sense. And you can retranslate that to yourself somehow, okay? Thank you so, so much. Oh my God. That caught me off guard, I have to tell you. That was really, really interesting, seeing like how, you know, masculine energy comes out in the context of femininity, and how very soft, gentle, loving, sweet, innocent kind of loving energy comes out in the context of a very masculine sense of having to have order. Anyway, thank you, Nikki. I think we're going to leave it at that, people. This is our first time back in about 4 months, so I think we've covered a lot of territory here. We had a lot of fun. I've had a lot of fun reading for everybody. If there's anyone out there who wants a reading and you've never done this before, we'll be here next Sunday. We'll do some super chats. Who knows, maybe in the meantime something else. And yeah, that's it. That's it. I'm going to play another song I'm just going to play a song that's called Because I Care. Because I do. Okay? And I actually wrote this song for my mother. Because my mother was a very loving person. She loved me very much, and she did whatever she could to help me be who I am. But it was very difficult because I was a very difficult child to raise. Anyway, it's called Because I Care. So it's a long song, so just enjoy yourselves. Chat amongst yourselves. I'm going to start winding up the show. Here we go. It sounds like this, okay? Let's have a look, see what's going on, see if this actually works.
Let's dissolve our pain and get out of danger. Heal all the wounds and cure all the anger. I'll be the doctor, you be the patient. Here is your medicine, I'll help you take it. No, it doesn't kill you, it makes you stronger. It wipes out the fear and makes you live longer. It's not a lotion, it's no magic potion. It's just a dose of love in the moment. I'll watch you while you're lying there, while your eyes are closed and your heart is bare. Perfectly still, but still aware. And I'm right here because I care, because I care. Holding your hand, I know you can feel me. I'll talk in a whisper, I know you can hear me. When you awaken, when we are conscious, totally healed and cured, just watch this. No more weeping, no more sadness. Gone is the fighting, gone is the madness. We can choose to become alive, or just disappear, or become survivors. I'll watch you while you're lying there, while your eyes are closed
We're not gonna let you go down in flames. No, no, no. We're gonna have fun. We're gonna do this right. Okay. All right. Let's wrap it up, everybody. I'm just going to play one more song to say goodnight and farewell. You can check out with each other, and I'll see you next weekend. It's been a pleasure to read for you guys, read with you guys, listen to your stories, read the chats and all that stuff. I'm going to play a song called Love the Word. Okay? Understand the power of the written word, the power of the spoken word. We are loving, we are loved. I am loving, I am loved. You are loving, you are loved. We are loving, we are loved. Okay, so I'm going to play a song called Love is the Word. Here we go. This is from Terra Lumination to you. Good night, everybody. It's been a pleasure.
for the skies. Opening my hands to welcome in the day. Gather in the sun's rays before I'm on my way. And the healing vibrations rattle through my soul, shaking out the poisons, making me whole, casting out diseases by chanting the word. The sounds of the universe by all will be heard, resonate inside us, numb is the word. Moving through the day, pray no accidents arise. Giving thanks to heaven that I am still alive. Blessing my enemies, blessing the ones I love. Praying for forgiveness for any damages I've done. And the healing vibrations rattle through my soul, shaking out the poisons, making me whole, casting out diseases by chanting the word. The sounds of the universe by all will be heard, resonate inside us, numb is the word. Now the day is done and moon is on the rise. My trials and tribulations all bottled up inside. I summon in the numb as I reach up for the skies. I command all fear and shadows be gone before my eyes. And the healing vibrations rattle through my soul,